produce something today.
Harley Reid, game number 50 as well. There's a special talent. So does he go and stand side by side, the record breaker, the 50th, go and stand next to Scott Pendlebury at some stage? He's coming off a 34 possession game, 2 goals, he had 10 clearances, 19 contested. We know he plays on the edge. He's a country Victorian boy that would be absolutely thriving on the opportunity to play here.
There has been so many numbers and so many elements of the Scott Pendlebury story told, of course. And here's the milestone matches. His 50th game back in 2008 against St Kilda, and he's won each and every one of them except for that 250th game in 2017, which feels like it's a long time ago now when they went down. So if you're thinking about omens, then that's a good sign for the Magpies today. The man that he goes past, Brent Harvey, is there in the middle for the toss of the coin. That is a lovely touch and great respect there from, I'm sure, all the Eagles players, as much as they want to beat Scott Pendlebury. Liam Baker, he has been here many times as a Tiger, wins the toss, an acknowledgement of Pendlebury, and they will kick to the punt road end there that Liam Baker enjoyed kicking to, I'm sure, as a Richmond player. But the next phase of his life is leading this young West Coast Eagles team forward. And it's a thrill for the teammates of Scott Pendlebury as well.
Yeah, and the debate that's raged all week, and it's been a great one, who is the best Collingwood player of all time. This man here is going to be in that equation, and at some stage, in the not-too-distant future, Jason, he's already very much in the discussion, having played just 3 or 4 years of footy.
And he doesn't mind suiting up against the West Coast Eagles either. 8 of the last 9 Brownlow votes available he has collected, so he'll be looking to have a big one. Averages well over 30 possessions a week. We know what he's capable of, and incredibly hard to stop. That man there had perhaps his best week last week. He's had a great month. Now ranked in the top 15 in the competition. He had 34 touches, kicked a couple of goals last week. That's the sort of performance you want to start seeing on a regular basis.
So the man himself is in the middle there with 5 others. So can't have all of them in there, boys. So side bottom peels off to the wing. Lipinski comes, not over. Steelers that comes out for this week. So DJI Pendlebury and Nick Dacos. It's a fair starting centre square against, as Kiggy pointed out, Yo's been in great form, along with Harley Reid, along with Galley, and along with Williams. Their centre-bounce work's been great. So stayed set, incredible scenes here. It is a black and white army filling up the best sporting arena in the land.
Yeah, what a sight over the city. And through Jollymont, and our eyes down onto the mighty MCG, which on this Saturday afternoon, as the siren sounds, is full of black and white with a touch of gold, and it is official. Scott Pendlebury has now played more games of VFL, AFL football than anyone else. And he starts in the middle of the ground, and the ball goes pretty much nowhere from the throw-up. Bailey Williams, who was outstanding last week, straight into a fend from Harley. Across to Marrick, and then short and effective to Cole.
I reckon he didn't enjoy that. That was on Pendlebury as well.
A lot of respect about that. Deep kick. Bailey Williams outstanding last week. Yo tries to pull it out of there. One of 3 Premiership Eagles who won in 2018 against the Magpies, of course. Champion tries to burst through. He can't.
It was a great fend on Pendlebury, but I don't reckon he needed to do it. He actually saw Pendlebury and ran at him just so he could fend him, just to make a point.
That doesn't surprise me.
To go in front of the Shane Warne stand. Touch short on the kick.
Oh, down goes Pendle.
He's had more broken tackles than any player in 49 games of footy in the history. He did go looking for him, you're right.
Dersma into Kelly. Pendlebury on the mark. Positive start for the Eagles. Hands on the footy early. Drops it inside 50. Now towards Waterman. Fist comes from behind. Elliott Yo in a little hole. And kicks the opener. And pretty much silence at the MCG.
Yeah, well, this one gets over the back, which is a cardinal sin from a defensive point of view. And Elliott Yo runs onto it, started in the centre bounce. They got their hands on it. They've won the 2 clearances so far, the 1 clearance so far. And let's just watch here.
They got 2 players over the back, guys.
Yeah, so Howe comes in and they all jumped at it. They had actually 4 in the end that were goal side, Jay. So this is a fantastic start for the Eagles. Just you need to get your hands on the footy early, and they have. It's lived in their front half. They kick the first goal.
And the other thing you want to do, you're playing interstate. Get in the game early. make a statement, try and keep the crowd as quiet as you can.
This is an interstate game like no one else has ever experienced. If there's 95,000, 94 of them are Collingwood fans, and 800 are impartial.
Best comparison is probably that preliminary final of 2017 when Richmond played the Giants. And the Tigers were storming. The Magpies are storming out of the middle. Cameron returning today, set up Dacos, and he sets up Schultz.
You want to talk about elite kicks inside 50. The weight on that kick to find Schultz. He saw him just pull back into a little bit of space behind his opponent. Figured it was the best option.
It was very businesslike from Nick, wasn't it?
It's a stunning kick off the outside of the boot. Perfectly weighted.
So Lachie Schultz, a goal a game so far this year. Kick one last week. There's a lot of the pressuring, the tackling, but now it's a matter of converting, which he does not.
Well, the fans liked it early.
They did.
It must have just dropped off. Can't leave the front of that square, the centre circle open like that. The Eagles have been good inside that centre square, but
just checking he was okay. That's nice. Did he apologise?
Ginby drives it out of defence. Fist comes straight to Kelly with a little step too much on it for Williams. Pies set up nicely through Cameron back in the side. After a week out, first touch for Pendlebury, and the crowd acknowledge it. Back to Chris, man that breaks records himself. Sends it deep. Fist comes from behind. Dacos is in the area. Marek will be under pressure immediately. Does well to get the hands out to Ginby. And now Baker.
great kick.
To Shanahan.
It's a great kick. Just takes some pressure off, lets him get set up. Willem Dersma is paying most attention to Scott Pendlebury at the moment.
Smooth enough kick to Marek. Eagles won a couple of games earlier in the year, then 6 losses in a row before last week's big win, which took a lot of pressure off. Careful on the approach here, so just a slow build-up. Bo Allen returning to the team, just the one change for the Eagles after a little spell in the waffle. Tyler Young, the ex-Tiger, familiar environments for him. It's very quiet, isn't it? Eerily quiet as the Eagles have possession, with Duggan going short again. Now Baker ready to take off and send them forward again. Waterman might get to it. 3 pies, all intent on the spoil. Maybe a little bit more communication. Davis kept it in. Murdoch, story gets better and better. And Harley's already got some theatrics for us in addition.
So Pendle's finally got him back.
He did. I think after 533 games, you understand that you're not going to be able to suck in Scott Pendlebury. A bit of physicality.
Drop the shoulder.
Williams, front position in front of Cameron. Bobbles through his hands back to Cameron. Chris takes on 1 and 2 tackles. And Champion was the second of the tackler and gets Chris. So it's a really positive start for the visitors.
Another duster.
Again, it involves Pendlebury. He looks like he's putting in some work early on Reed. Champion drops it deep forward. Spoil comes from behind. Shanahan's the big fly. Murdoch dangerous around the sticks. And the stacks on the mill.
It was an extraordinary call from the umpire. He's calling stand while 8 blokes are having a little to do on the mark. No one knew who it was for.
Eagles with the only goal. Crowd hasn't been able to get involved yet. Cameron to the outside. Cole thrashed about in there. Umpire said he had a chance.
That's a couple they've given up deep in attack when they got the Pies under some pressure.
Howe. Quaynell. Moore back in the side, provides a lead. They go a touch longer into the hands of Roan Steele. Off half-back. Yo with the only major so far. Crowd continues to come in to the Coliseum. Williams in good position.
Good jumps. He's had a couple of good jumps at the centre bounce as well. He's got great athleticism, this fella.
Turning into a player, guys, I reckon, this man.
He is.
Yeah, not quite as imposing a size as some of the other ruckmen, but great athlete.
Turns it into the pocket. Jumping for position. Quite a barely illegal handball. Hackett went to Frampton. Everyone's getting in on the fending act today. Up to the wing. Ginby, so often outsized for height, but he's got the broadest shoulders in the game. What a great kick. Chris takes it. And there's some options for the Pies, but they had a lot of resources behind the footy.
Dacos drifting forward. Lipinski, shallow entry inside 50. Elliott set himself for the big hang, then stayed down.
He did spit forward, Nick Dacos, dangerous. Murdoch just did a bit of extra running to cover there. Baker goes to him now.
He's got there to go. He read the hand beautifully. Started strongly last week. Had 11 touches in the first quarter, Jordan De Goey. And finished strong as well, 29. So he's found some form. Playing more as a midfielder. He's going a kick behind this now. He's taken Harley Reid out of the stoppage. Waiting at the back. Williams to the front. Cameron, they poke around. Pendlebury, the give to Dacos. Lipinski. Oh, that is perfect. The Collingwood fans have been waiting for something to cheer about.
And how appropriate the man of the moment gets the score involvement, the goal involvement here. The hands with that quick cut over.
He's been doing it for 21 seasons, Gaz. Setting them up for others to knock it down.
Great setup. So it's interesting. So Dursma sort of playing high, coming up off half forward and running with him and trying to get Harley Reid some space. But in here, just quick as a flash, off to Dacos, off to Lipinski. It's a combination, isn't it? What a finish. Just needed to get something to the crowd going here. They've been sitting here, they're patiently having a look at it, but there they are. They're ready to scream their guts out today. The Collingwood fans, they've come here to see a show. Paddy Lipinski's got them started after the West Coast Eagles drew first blood. So they're on the board.
A goal apiece. Lights starting to take effect at the MCG. Black, white and gold. Pendlebury heard the voice of De Goey, who was happy just to shin it forward. Really getting on a touch high was Hayes. Crowd thought so, umpire didn't. Now they get the free.
That was not the umpire that was closest to that, the corner. Came a bit late.
On the 10-minute mark, there's been a selection of posters handed out to celebrate the number 10. Not too far away. So Hayes is the recipient in the end. Williams again in good position with a fist down to a dangerous area. Nearly got through to Nick Dacos. He's still hunting the footy, the little champ. Goes back to Lipinski. Dacos from a tight angle. Can't do what Lipinski could. And it's across the line.
He got a free kick now.
He's got a free kick.
It's Joe Shanahan who wants to put the pressure on. Pushed him offline because you wouldn't have put it beyond the champ to get to be able to bring it back from where he was. But the push has been deemed to be in the back.
Keep an eye on the players today because there's so much noise. It's really hard to hit the whistle at the moment.
So we've already seen Lipinski slot one. If anyone can do it, that gold looks magnificent on the back of the Collingwood jumper. Perfect shot from behind. And what the task is for Nick Dacos. From a very tight angle. Have a look at that! Just faded late.
And have a look at that. The 10-minute mark of the opening term. Again, a day like today is a bit about numbers, isn't it?
Have a look at that.
SB 4-3-3. It's like an Olympic opening ceremony.
Exactly what it's like here. This is one of the more amazing scenes that you can witness in a game of footy here. That's incredible.
Couldn't have happened at a better time with a break in play either, Gary.
I think the West Coast fullback there just held it up. Did the right thing.
Beautifully choreographed. And the man who wore number 10 for all but one of his 21 seasons. Started in 16, of course. There's Josh Dacos. Murdoch, full of determination. Reid, Shanahan didn't have much favours for Hoff. Somehow Shanahan got it out to Tim Kelly. Another Eagle with the experience of playing at the MCG when he was a cat for a couple of years. Frampton got them organised. Maynard able to float it. Hard running from Hayes. Didn't want to take on Young initially. Here's his left boot. Somebody playing in front. The spoil from McStay. Ticked off by the umpire. McCarthy, champion. They build again. Duggan feeding it wide. Young strokes it down the line. Now, not quite. Looking to relive the glory days as well, Jeremy Howe.
Not a great position for Tim Kelly when you're stranded underneath a high ball and Jeremy Howe has a run at you. Well, it could have been anything.
Yeah, that could have been anything. He went over the top of him. He almost missed him. Tim Kelly missed Waterman on an easy hit-up lead earlier. Would have been disappointed with the kick.
Flying high in the contest was Allen. The Eagles pumped it deep forward again. They got coverage and more. The skipper back in the side. He uses the defensive pressure.
2 clearances, Harley Reid, 3 contested touches early. He's in the middle of everything.
Clearing ball from Moore. Oh, good fight to get to the front from West. He takes the mark. What a thrill for Charlie West in his 3rd game to be part of all this. To going, feeding Schultz. McStay pacing back to the square. They found the middleman in Hayes.
On his own.
How could he be? Well, Jimmy's got to try and cover 2. In the end, the kick goes to side bottom and McStay, who came marching out. Davis did enough just to worry, and Jimmy's able to use him. Still a few stepping stones. This is Lindsay. One of the young talented band of high draft picks. And some safety in numbers. Duggan's left foot kick, not enough. Dersmer over the top did well to disrupt. And he uses Marek to get it back on his own terms. And well reach for Baker and Dersmer again. He can really stride out now. The number 1 pick in the number 1 Guernsey. Kicks it deep and kicks it well. It's an interference, an advantage. And Brady Hoff can say thank you very much. All these Eagles have some talent.
It was a great decision from Dersmer because he would have been attracted by the movement of his key forward in Waterman, who was leading up, then calling it over the top, but he looked at a target out to the side that he knew was in space, and the kick would have hit him except for the free kick. In the end, they take the advantage, but it's just great decision-making.
This is what I love, Jace. Take the ground. Take it when it's in front of you. As you said, he might have been able to kick it earlier, but if you've got space, take the ground and run. You're an athlete. All of a sudden, it opens up. So they've been inside 50 10 times, the Eagles. 10-5 in the early stages of this game. So getting a look at it. And a couple of times they've caught this Collingwood defence out a little bit. And the run and carry from Dersmer, just elite.
Nick Dacos has drifted forwards a couple of times. They missed him that last opportunity, Gary. But Yo grabs it out of the middle, breaks 1 tackle, held up in a second. Spun forward, the advantage paid. Wasn't really much of an advantage. Now there's a ball to be won. Kelly does just that. Back inboard. Dersmer crunched in the middle of the MCG. Allen applies a tackle. Now Murdoch just bursts away. You got some good toe, the 47. Now to Yo, kick the opening goal.
Nice decision.
Sends it wide nicely. It was a good build-up from the Eagles.
Yep. Isaac.
Into the hands of Johnston.
Moving on.
I think in just his 9th game, Harvey, and what a game it is to play on. Houston in good position in his 200. You play 200, but you get the touch overshadowed when a bloke's playing 4-3-3.
Well, you get a gold number on your back in the 200.
Not a great entry. And Jake Waterman a little upset that he wasn't honoured on the short lead.
Yeah, should have gone quicker, Jace. A young man just fighting his way in the game, that's okay. You've got to learn, but when you're out like that, go quick. Chances are they're offside.
A lot of positives for the Eagles so far. This is a team that hasn't won a first quarter for the season.
Yeah, 11-5, the inside 50s early.
Not overall, that's for sure.
Frampton, he set himself a challenge on the kick and he was up to it. He found side bottom, they're pushing the boundaries. Cole there, could have been a 50. Howe kicks it 50 plus McCreary. Nice touch, Max. And then he's able to run on. And on. And uses his right boot. Glide to Elliott. And there were loose men everywhere. And his choice kick is to the goal.
Well, there's the difference from one end to the other. Both teams on a fast break. So going one end, the West Coast Eagles, fast break gets to Johnson and he stops and doesn't keep going. Collingwood, on the other hand, fast break through the middle of the ground. The ball just keeps in motion, perpetual motion. Bang, gets back, hits this kick quickly, numbers everywhere.
We're still not quite sure about Collingwood this year, but if they are to contend and do some damage, that man Jordan De Goey is going to have to play a significant part. It's a bad miss really from in front of goal, and the Pies have missed a few. They're 1-3-9. The Eagles 2 straight 12 as Scott Pendlebury has a rest. Probably a jump to number 2, I presume, will come on when we see him again.
A couple of set shot misses from Schultz and now De Goey. Davis. And the teal boots. Very tight on the line on the outer side. Howe fists it 20 rows back to where they're having a beer and a pie.
Giving Jeremy Howe some jumping bag practice at the moment. Sitting on the head of his opponent, he's coming off.
And once he gets his timing right, he might just decide to take one of these that he jumps at.
Wow, what about that? That's as good a picture in sport right there. In the world, Harry.
Yep.
Just past the midpoint of the opening term. Eagles certainly taking it up to the Magpies. Murdoch's hands were slick. Kick Davis didn't go too far. Side bottom on guard through the middle. Had the Pies on a straight line to goal. Dacos's kick. It goes to Elliott. Got away from Tyler Young and takes the mark.
Just lost a bit of contact, Tyler Young. Got caught ball watching. All of a sudden his man was 3 or 4 metres away. Had the run and jump uninterrupted. Hasn't quite hit the heights we know he can find in 2026, Jamie Elliott.
14 goals in 10 games. A bit of a patch of 8 goals in 3 weeks. Doesn't have an amazing record against the Eagles, one of his lowest actually of any club. And he too is just a little wonky on his shooting for goal early.
That's the difference between the two teams. So both goals that Collingwood have kicked have been from turnover. They've been able to connect on the way back the other way. West Coast just a bit untidy when they do get the free turn over.
What they have done is they've scored 5 times from 7 inside 50s as opposed to West Coast, 2 scores from 11.
Beg pardon, 1 goal, 2 scores.
And those set shot misses will just start to concern Collingwood a bit. 3 they'd expect to kick, 3 they've missed. Just spilled straight out from a Collingwood player to a West Coast opponent.
That's better though, Howie. Now got to get up quickly, get back off the mark and see if you can hit something else up.
Shanahan, impressive young player. Called to go. Frampton closed the distance pretty quickly. Houston threw it almost down to the direction of Pendlebury. Crisp sits on top of it. Reed just raging over the football. Lipinski, good chain of hands. Spread out wide. Quaynor. Now Steele on the outer wing. Couple of pies, but Jinby reads it best off the boot.
And he wanted to move it straight away. McCarthy. Further extension to Young. So they're going to work their way to the members' side of the MCG, which is packed, as all portions of this ground is. Duggan drives it down to Waterman. Kick it a bit out. Yo spending plenty of time forward. Put his hands around it. Legal spoil from Howe. Frampton. Back again. McCreary realising he's called for action here. Didn't have a look at a great position to mark, but he's followed the Sheridan. Got it to behave itself on the wing. The build through Crisp was an awkward position. He threw it out. Dersma there to pounce and maybe punish. Well, it's not the best kick. It does get to Elliott Yo.
Frampton immediately nails Yo in front of the Pie Army.
He's got a hand pass option right in front of him. And Jake Waterman just chose to ignore it for whatever reason.
He wanted to do too much there, I think, too.
Yep.
Billy busts it straight down the line. Dacos just came off. There was wrestling. First time I've seen Dersma live. Gary, gee, moves well, doesn't he?
Yeah, beautiful. Just the last kick he'd like again, but they're winning the ball back in the middle of the ground here last couple of times for the Eagles.
Bazzo, recipient of the free for the Shepherd. Howe sets himself. Bash forward. Straight into the hands of Allen. Quaynor's going to be under pressure here, but he's so good in the one-on-ones and takes care of business.
15 inside 50s to 7.
But what they don't have at the moment, Gaz, is any connection going inside 50. They haven't kicked one. Or maybe that last one that Yo dropped was a decent kick, but they're not kicking to the advantage of the forwards.
Houston able to loop the handball over McCreary. Gets the half back, time for a bounce. And to accelerate away, one or another. Reed in pursuit. McCreary angles the kick for long. And a handball to the outside if he wanted. He instead was going to try and link up by foot. Elliott was camped in the pocket. Really didn't kick it to his advantage at all. Jimby made a real meal of it. Now he has to try and recover. Hand it off to McStay. McCreary did so much in the build-up. And Dacos couldn't quite get the angles right.
So he'd be breathing a sigh of relief, Ruben Jimby. That was one of those moments where he couldn't believe the kick came straight to him and he just made a meal of it.
1 goal, 5. So 6 scores from 8 entries for the Magpies.
8 goals, 14 for Nick Dacos this season.
I suspect the alarm bells are ringing in the Eagles box from a defensive perspective.
Had some great looks going in, Jay. It's just been untidy.
Cole drives it towards centre wing. Big fly from behind. Williams nearly brought it to ground, not quite in the end. Allen heard Crisp, rode the Dersman tackle, somehow spat it out by hand. Contested ball, the way of the Eagles. Davis. Williams brought to ground, just got hands to it, did well. Now back to Dersman, started the game nicely. A wobbling ball forward. Moore's being protected by his teammate Maynard.
Just haven't got that part right just yet in the front half, the Eagles. Doing a lot right, though.
Brady Hoff is watching Scott Pendlebury very closely in the corridor where he tends to reside. Pendlebury pushing forward as Dacos works across half-back with his 7th disposal. He and Jimby the most on the ground so far. Plenty of overlap and options across the ground. He's working through Frampton towards centre-half forward and towards Long. Jimby there with the spoil. At the front, Long first onto the follow, onto the loose ball. McCreary was waiting for the right moment, but he doesn't give the right handle.
It's interesting how you picked that up. Scott Pendlebury went right to the goal square. Took off right to the goal square as if he was going to play out of the goal square momentarily. Now he works his way back up to the stoppage.
Off. Next to the record breaker. Dacos looking to run a bit of interference as well. Williams and Cameron. Allen as well to control the football. McCarthy spills to a dangerous area. He's had a couple of goes, Nick Pendlebury. Nick Dacos misses again with Pendlebury running beside him, so 35's had a couple of chances and missed.
Have they ever?
Thought you'd combine two of the great Collingwood players there.
I thought the hand pass was coming.
7 scores, 10 entries, just the wrong sort, Jace.
Yep.
Back to 1 point. Cameron and Williams and Harley. Wow, crash. What a tackle from Maynard with a bit of assistance from Jordan De Goey. They did that with relish.
A bit of history between Maynard and Harley too, I think, from memory.
He enjoyed that one, Maynard.
Maynard's got history of just about everyone.
That's safe to say, isn't it?
Harley Williams back into the middle, wandering ball. Retrieved by Crisp, and the forward handball is creative. Steele runs and pumps it deep. McStay, they crash into each other. Long might have hurt himself in the process.
He'd done the good body work, Long, and he was all set to mark that until McStay came crashing over the top.
Dacos on his own at this stoppage.
Williams grabs it out, and the hurried kick does not work out at all. So another set shot opportunity for Collingwood.
Well, they're doing a lot right, the West Coast Eagles. They're just not the finished product, which we understand and know. But they're not overawed by the occasion. They've had great field position. Just the last 3 or 4 minutes, they've lost control of where the game's being played. They just haven't been hurt on the scoreboard yet.
Elliott's missed. De Goey's missed. Nick Dacos has missed. Roan Steele has not missed. Reckon he's got the coverage. He does. And finally, Collingwood straighten it up.
It was a much-needed goal. They needed to get some reward from all the looks that they'd had inside 50. They've had some good shots, been unable to convert. That man there, Braden Maynard, involved in the build-up with a big, heavy tackle. You mentioned Maynard has history with a lot of players. You're right. It won't be long before the other bloke has history with a lot of players as well, Harley Reid. But he enjoyed that one, Maynard, monstering the youngster.
Yeah, he's got some already, Jose.
Those quick kicks.
Yeah, nothing untoward in the tackle from Maynard. It was really physical. He and Reid went on with it for a while, so we'll keep an eye on that. But the finish had to come at some stage. Peppering. Repeat inside 50s, repeat entries. They now get 2 goals, 6 from 11 entries.
And a handful of Collingwood kids to be part of the big occasion. Old Reid bursting out of the middle. Forced to kick off the left boot. Gave Jack Williams an opportunity. The contest was made. And now the scrap at ground level. Crisp over the top of it. Flipped up by Kelly. Cleared by Pendlebury. Back out to the wing. Bazzo. Long. McCarthy and Merritt. Then it gets a bit scrappy, but it's downfield. That's one that we'll regret. McCreary, the offender.
So Shanahan, the way the ball's coming in is not helping Shanahan and Williams at the moment. If they continue just to kick to a spot, they've got to get aggressive in the air.
There's a big clump. They come charging out. Bailey Williams is imposing and getting more and more so.
He wanted aggression in the air. There it is. This man will charge at it and leap.
That's doing everything the other two hadn't been able to do the last 4 times the ball went in there. And he just took the bit between the teeth and charged at it. Was going to drop a little bit short initially.
Well, the kick actually worked out better.
Yeah.
Rather than sitting it on the players' heads, they need to run and jump at the footy, and he attacked it beautifully.
Played an outstanding second half last week. 4 goals, 3 for the season. 2 goals last week. But this is the MCG, and Bailey Williams' kick is not online. The Eagles have been very inaccurate this season. They were able to kick them late last week when it mattered, but that's a tough shot, but he's missed it, and the Pies still lead by 4.
Nick Dacos has had 8. Pendlebury's had 4. Ginby and McCarthy 7 for the Eagles. Cameron has front position. Bazzo throws away. Slick hands from Lindsay, rising star recipient this week. And Josh Williams has gone again. He's causing problems. Maynard's a bit sore. Can he straighten up this time?
So Maynard would have popped the finger there, guys.
He looks sore.
No, they'll pop that one back in, but he's providing problems, and his jump is just first rate. He's pure. It's his athleticism. You can't block the run, you're going to get pinged for a free kick. So you just got to try and take the position where he's going to go at. But right now, they're all out of sorts when this man goes down inside 450.
Missed moments ago, Bailey J. Williams, 4 goals for the season, 8th year at the club. Once again to a chorus of boos. And threads it home. They are not to be denied. The West Coast, they're back in front.
There's nothing they didn't deserve. I mean, 19 inside 50s. They're nearly on record pace. This is enormous. Trouble is they're not getting the rewards they deserve. So just the 5 scores from 19 is not enough in terms of your connection between entries and the amount of times that you're scoring. But it's Williams the last couple of times down there that gives him the aerial target. He moves, he doesn't stand still. He runs and jumps at the footy.
All 3 goals from turnover there. Maynard just lost him. So Maynard was playing 5 yards in front of him, had responsibility for him. Now he walks back into the centre. Harley Reid's been the target here. He's had three clearances already in the first quarter, Reid. He's looked dangerous when he gets on the move.
Just looking at Maynard, guys, it wasn't the finger. It might have been somewhere else where you don't want to get hit. I think he just copped the knee, so I think he's okay now.
Well, the siren is about to sound at the MCG. And with it, the West Coast Eagles have registered their first winning opening quarter of the season. So they are not here just to make up the numbers today on a day that is so significant for the numbers. 4:33 for Scott Pendlebury, and he's already played a part in this opening quarter, setting up one of Collingwood's 2 goals. She may be packed with Pies fans, but it's the Eagles in front. Wallich Murrah, 3 goals, 2-20, and they lead Collingwood 2-6-18 on Scott Pendlebury and footy's big day at the G.
All right, folks, hey, welcome in. I tell you what, welcome in to this record-breaking, history-making game. 4-3-3 is Scott Pendlebury for the mighty Magpies. And, of course, here at the MCG, the stadium is just about chock-a-block, but it's the West Coast Eagles 3-2-20 leading the Magpies 2-6-18. Tell you what, the Magpies should have kicked a few more goals there. The West Coast Eagles are playing reasonably good. The Magpies defenders are doing a great job. To me, looking at the first quarter, though, the Magpies, they're just trying to settle into this game a little bit. I think in time, tell you what, it's just got that feeling where the Magpies are going to break this game open. Nick Dacos had a few shots on goal, but missed, unlike him. Of course, a couple of others, Lockie Schultz and a couple of others missing. I'll tell you what's going on. Let's get the kick and boots on Pies. We need to do this for Scotty's record-breaking, history-making game here at the MCG today. Let's just go and have a look at the goal scorers and the stats. All right, for the West Coast Eagles, Elliott, Yule and Bailey Williams have both kicked singles with Brad Hoff. And, of course, for the Magpies, Rowan Still, Pat Lipinski has got a goal. They're the single goal scorers for them. Let's go and have a look at the disposal getters so far out on the ground. And of course, we've got 2 on 8 at the moment. Hamish Davis for the West Coast Eagles tops the table there. 3 kicks, 5 handballs, 2 marks. That's what he's got. And of course, Nick Dacos also with 8 disposals out on the ground. 6 kicks, 2 handballs, a mark, 2 behinds. Normally a couple of goals that Nick would normally get, but a little bit skew-iff off the boot. Tom McCarthy, 7. Ruben Gimme on 7. Billy Frampton for the Magpies to go. Cripps on 7. Let's roll on down. We'll just have a couple of look at where the record-breaking players are today. Of course, there's Scotty Pendlebury. He started just slowly in the game today, folks. But there we go. Don't worry about that. He'll get plenty of it, and they'll be looking when the Magpies get in front by a margin. They'll be looking for him to score a goal or two. He's just had the 4 touches, just the 1 kick, 3 handballs, and a couple of clearances. Game 4, 3-3, and of course Harley Reid there for the West Coast Eagles. Game 50, he's just had the 4 touches, but I tell you what, he's got a little bit of grumpiness about him, but he's playing well. He's playing strong football. 4 touches, 2 kicks, 2 handballs, a tackle, 3 clearances, so he's done reasonably well as well. Let's just roll on down there. William Hayes is a little bit of a live wire there for the Magpies. Looked reasonably good, although he's only had 3 disposals, 3 kicks. Doing well. Darcy Moore's going well in defence. Just 2 disposals. That's all right with Braden Maynard, but they're doing well in defence. There we go, looking for a bit out of Lockie Shields. Jamie Elliott was the other one who missed that goal. Probably about 40, 45 out, pretty well directly in front. So there we go, hoping he can score a few goals. Josh Dacos a little bit quiet also. So the big guns still yet to fire, still side bottom with the 2 there. Jake Waterman, the mullet man for the West Coast Eagles, untroubled the scoreboard as yet for the West Coast. Just the 1 disposal, 1 kick and 1 mark. Quick look at the team stats before we head back down to the ground. Inside forward 50s, as I said, the Eagles did really well. 19 inside forward 50s for their 5 scoring shots. Just 11 to the Magpies in that opening term for 8 scoring shots. So they're pretty much scoring nearly 1.5 every time they're going in there. Free kicks, 6-4 Magpies way. Let's just quickly roll down the clearances. 2 each in the centre clearances. Eagles just doing a little bit better in that opening term. 6-3 around the ground. When this loads up again, there we go. Contested possession, Eagles +6. Just want to head down, have a look here. As I said, the Magpies hitting their targets reasonably well in an opening term inside the forward 50. 4 marks, 2. Just want to have a look at this tackle count. There we go. Magpies tackling well in the opening term. 16. Eagles 7. They're a little bit below there. Magpies doing the inside forward 50 tackle pressure pretty good. All right, folks, let's head back down to the action. We're about a minute away before the second quarter here. Come on, Pies, let's start to kick straight. Let's get this game underway. We want to do it for Pendles. All right, let's head back down to the action, whereas the Eagles leading after quarter time by 2 points.
His hands on some pretty good gear at the moment.
You certainly weren't trustworthy with the Puma boots pre-game, but we'll get to that a little bit later in the post-show. In terms of the match, I mean, it's quite an interesting battle, isn't it? And West Coast, they have come to play, as I said. They will not hesitate in spoiling this Pendlebury party. They're +3 in clearances, +8 in inside 50s. They just need to clean up those poor entries.
Well, this is what they can do. We spoke about in the pre-game. They're in really good clearance form now. The power that they leave stoppage with always creates a problem. Harley Reid had 3 clearances alone in that first quarter, and he's just going head-to-head with the bigger bodies in the midfield for the Pies. So there's no designated tag on him right now, and that's a small risk. They've got themselves into this game, the Eagles. Williams is playing really well as a midfielder as well, drifting forward. So if that man can keep doing what he's doing, he'll pose some problems.
Yeah, I think they got it wrong early days, West Coast. Trying to be too perfect going inside forward 50. We saw those numbers in terms of retention, how they are using the ball. And last little 2 minutes, we saw Bailey Williams getting forward and him being the pivotal point. I'd be surprised if Andrew McCorder didn't go with that again.
It's game on as I hand it back to our commentary team.
Second term, the Eagles lead it by 2 points. Williams has been good forward. Pendlebury. Chris tries to ride the Yo tackle. Somehow just gets it clear. Now Kelly. Harley Reid can't miss him in the bright pink boots. Sends another inside 50 more. Just starting to get back into his work.
3 intercept marks. Darcy Moore early. Good form.
Hangs it up towards Cameron. Ball comes from Lindsay, a bit outside. Give it to Howe, who's flown a couple of times with a big fist from behind. Hasn't got the big hanger yet. With Dacos.
Got plenty of frequent fly miles.
My word, he does. I'd like to see another one today. Oh, through the hands of everyone. Lipinski didn't expect it. Williams busy. Harley takes the tackle, dropped the shoulder, and was the recipient as a result.
All they had to do was wrap him up there, Dan Houston. He had him cold because he went the fend off early, and then he just went high with the next part.
Duggan. We'll take any ground at all then, the Eagles. They'll continue on with the switch. Young. And on the other side, Lindsay. A man from Geelong, his first time on the MCG. He did play here in the under-17s.
It's a beautiful kick of the footy.
Yes.
Love to get the ball in his hands.
And they've worked it all the way down. Well, disposed by Kelly initially. And then Johnston. Back to Lindsay, who's a talented cricketer as a youngster as well, so the MCG would have even more special meaning for him. He takes off. A bit of a wobbly number into the pocket, not easy to mark. Williams threatened. Waterman did more than that with the crumbs, but he continues his inaccurate season.
Williams looking dangerous when he pushes hard forward. He's a handful at the moment.
You know he's a good cricketer because his dad is a cricket coach and he's got an indoor net in his backyard, which is a fair setup. Down the line.
Used to do a bit of work with Aaron Finch as well.
He did. And Ollie Peake, who's on his way to play for Australia. He's got a younger son, Harry, who's choosing between cricket and footy at the moment. Reid, big fly from behind, split the pack open. And take care of it.
That's the predictable one that hasn't quite worked, apart from the Bailey Williams mark. So got to try and work a little bit harder, maybe separate, put a block in.
Been filling the leading lanes really well. Murdoch doing a great job on Josh Dacos. He's only had the 2 possessions, Josh Dacos.
He's done just about everything in his career, including kick the ball back into play, Scott Pendlebury, so why not? On this big day, hoping to identify Charlie West at the other end of his football journey. Down the line for still set up for Young to spoil his opponent, Elliott. I thought he was in the van there to win the footy, but it's gone over and out.
Murdoch did that job last week on Lockie Whitfield.
Yeah,
did it well too.
Those creative ball users.
When they've got the ball, Collingwood, it is a hard tag. He is all over him.
Josh is trying to get in the way here. Nick's trying to get in the way here and just got absolutely ragdolled.
Williams to Kelly. End over end ball forward. Maynard stands strong in the contest. He's got competition though. Johnston dropped the head. Good tackle, holding the footy.
Good tackle.
Eagles by 4. Maynard off to Nick Dacos. Shenanigans going on off the ball with Johnston and Maynard. Dacos' 10th disposal. Trusted his left and downfield. Tim Kelly couldn't resist. There wasn't much of it.
No, but there never is.
No, Jason, we have this conversation every
I know.
game.
But they're hot on it. The players haven't woken up to it.
Yeah.
Just don't touch them.
Schultz guides it in. Lipinski was tempted to give it back to Maynard, flashing past. Good lead from Crisp inside 50. He's gone longer. He wants McStay or Cameron on the juggle. Timing was good from Young. Ducked his head. He's still going to get a free.
Did look like he ducked, but they saw the high contact and paid it.
So Jack Crisp, who's had his nervous moments in front of goal of late because he's been waiting to kick his 100th goal.
And this will be the 9th score from just 12 inside 50s.
Yeah, that is the grave concern. Everything else, you'd be ticking boxes from the Eagles' point of view. They've been untidy going inside their own 450, but this is the big issue at the other end of the ground.
He's a record setter himself, of course, of consecutive games. Jack Crisp, dead in front, his 100th goal.
Have absolutely lost it.
Yeah, it's proving very elusive. He's had some really genuine, gettable shots, set shots to try and reach the 100, so it's probably in his head, you have to say. I don't think he needed me to, was he, Gaz? No.
Here's Josh Lindsay, short from defence.
One goal, 4 from their set shots there. Not good enough. No, it's playing into the hands of West Coast side that need a little bit to go their way.
Many big players too that have had those misses. Elliott, Schultz, DeGoey. And now
there it is.
Payback.
There he is. Maynard and Harley. Well, you'd like to see that just give it a bit more freedom.
They controlled themselves well. It's good to see.
I think he might have had. He was in the ear of the coach down there, Gaz, right in front of him. So he didn't want to carry it on too far. He's watching Dacos, blocks are put on to try and free up Josh on the way through. It worked beautifully. To Goey, just lofted ball. They're trying to locate it in the air. Timby was able to beat McState to the punch, literally. Lindsay gets crashed into. Good work from the young man. And Hayes doesn't get a lot of possessions, but he does some nice things. Double fisted to the outside. Another opportunity going forward. Close to the line, Lindsay. Hayes was able to apply the pressure.
Well, I got the last ruck contest for the Eagles, which is just going to a free go at it. From a clearance point of view, it's 10-7 in favour of the Eagles.
Coming in Jack Williams this time as opposed to Bailey Williams. Murdoch. Allen.
It's just not going anywhere right now. There's been no great flow. It's been hard work. Two teams just struggling to find some freedom in the way they play.
Williams off the outside of the boot. Steele camps over it. It's good pressure. Clean, really clean from Nick. Back to his brother Josh. Delayed it out to DeGoey. Here's the important kick back to Steele. He has kicked one. Tight angle. Wants to lay it off.
Well, Nick's the one. You get the ball in his hands and good things happen. He's had 6 score involvements. More than double anyone else on the ground right now. So he's the one they have to go through, which everyone in the footy world knows. Trying to stop him is a whole different matter.
Eyes are still darting for Ryan Steele. It doesn't look like he's going to take the shot. No, he was never confident. Unselfish play. In towards Chris. Schultz should finish. And that's nicely set up. Schultz with the finish. But well played, Steele.
It was all a little bit easy in the end. It looked like, I think it was Duggan was going to take the intercept mark. Ball fell to the ground, and all of a sudden Lockie Schultz has found a huge pocket of space on his own. Ball sits up and he kicks the goal, and they continue just to score when they go forward. A good purchase on it, Duggan, but then no attention. Schultz.
Go and have a look at this again, James. Just watch where he comes from. There's no feel, no touch. West Coast Eagles coaching box is just scrawling through the vision right now to say where was the responsibility for Lockie Schultz. Ball got over the back. He's completely on his own.
Yeah, and I mean, reasonably dangerous play. You'd think someone would pay him a little bit of attention.
First goal of the second term in front of a close to capacity crowd. On a fine Saturday afternoon, twilight into the early evening. DeGoey and Dacos get down to business, trying to link up with Josh. Well handled by Murdoch. Jack Williams feeds it out wide, trying to find some space. It was Allen feeding it even further wide. Duggan on the bounce. Good effort just to pick it up by Hoff. Back to Duggan again. Curls the kick and did it well. Mark taken by Cole. And a little avenue down to Waterman. He's trying to work his way around Frampton. He failed.
That's a horrible kick in. Harley Reid's all on his own. He's kicked it straight over his head and got the burst for his trouble from Reid as well.
It's a horrible miss, Jace. That's the issue they got right now. Completely on his own.
They're getting it inside 50, Gary, but...
No, there's no issue about that. Field position's great, but have a look at this. Harley Reid here, you can't miss the man. He's got pink boots on. You see him at just inside the 50 on his own. He's got his hands up. That's just an easy hit.
Straight over his head.
33 inside, 50 to 24 the way the Eagles. You can't miss those boots. Eagles by 2 at quarter time. Collingwood through Schultz with the only goal of the term. Intercept is on. Chris, get the bounce he was after. Scooped it out to side bottom. He gave it straight back to Jinby. Now Allen straightens up to Duggan. Centre wing in front of the members.
Cameron down the line. Best interceptor, so got to be a bit careful here.
Smooth moving Dersmar. Didn't get much on the kick. Diving attempt in slip. Went through down towards third man. Now Murdoch outside of the boot. Marriott has a little bit of space. Straightens up. A little worm burn. Wait. Waterman does really well to pick it up. In the end of Yo, but again, Darcy Moore in good position.
Fourth intercept. What about the pickup from Waterman?
Yeah, that was brilliant. But how labour intensive is the build-up? Can someone hit a target?
He's getting frustrated too.
Yeah, and entitled to be.
Dacos took off. Quainer there in support. Decides to handball. Handball forward a long way. Uses Steele to go. He used the threat. He actually invokes it. Goes at the young man. Deep to Elliott. Step ahead. Timby on the way back to goal.
And that's the difference. They are so good at finding pockets of space and identifying the loose player when they get in transition. Collingwood, a beautiful kick over the top to find Elliott. Tough shot for goal from here. But it was a no-risk completion inside 50.
So Jamie Elliott, on a day where the target has been hard to find for both teams. Some of the most experienced players out there. Continues a warp thing to the top of the square, taken care of by McCarthy.
How do you describe it?
A warped thing.
It was warped. Real shank.
Continuing the theme though, that's 11 scores, 15 entries. They just score at will when they go in.
That could be a record conversion rate at this stage.
McCarthy. 9 disposals. Allen in a little pocket of space.
And they do this pretty well, West Coast. It's when they have to go forward that they have trouble identifying the right options.
Not prepared to go to the interior. Howe sets himself. Again, happy to go with the fish from behind. No room for Yo or Hoff.
Harley Reid pushing forward now. Just forward to the stoppage.
Pendlebury still having a break at the moment. Yo up around the footy, getting it forward to Moore. Kept the hands free, which could have spelled his doom with the umpire, but the umpire said play on in the end.
Good follow-up pressure there. 2 good tackles. Keep the ball inside now, see if they can get something happening from a clearance point of view.
Cameron guided it successfully to Lipinski. He's just come back from a break too. Of course, missed last week with concussion. Duggan controlled the space. He didn't give Baker much of a chance. Allen straddling the line, happy to be pushed over. It is 11th versus 15th, so
looks a bit like it, doesn't it?
As big as the occasion is, that's where these teams are.
With respect, so 3 goals apiece, missed targets, poor shots at goal. Hasn't lit up at any stage.
Guys have gone draw, loss, loss the last 3 weeks.
Chris Lipinski, Nick Dacos creates a bit of space, then tries to spiral it forward. Most Nick Dacos like, and McCarthy again, well positioned at centre half back.
Back to Jinby. Didn't want to take the kick that was 45, 50 metres to Marriage. Instead, still on the menu for Lindsay, but he's prepared to play it back.
It's the forward kicks, Hutto, so they can go side to side, no problem. It's the ones that take territory and open the game up that they're just being challenged with a bit.
Kelly at his best is sublime, but exacting kick for anyone. Long down the line, he goes to the safety in numbers. Williams almost reeled it in and then followed up well. Murdoch takes off and he has a bit to work with. Jack Williams just slid that a little too far. Shanahan, good contest and follow. Found the ball, Waterman which way? Back he goes. Cole, great centering kick. And Harvey Johnston takes the mark right in front of goal.
Now that's the sort of kick we've been crying out for from West Coast.
Really?
With all those inside 50 entries that have gone to waste, then you find that.
He wastes absolutely no time. It was most important, he got the job done. One of 9 Eagles on this stage for the first time at the MCG. Well done, Harvey Johnston, and the Eagles retake the lead.
So that's the glimpse into the future that you want. You get your strong contest and then some run, some carry, some break the line, get it out into the open. It's a little dinky kick here. Shanahan's ability to put pressure on and win the footy back. And then they're forward of the ball. And some good forward running and then this kick here. That is sublime. Magnificent work. So that's the buzz that's been around the West Coast Eagles after their win against GWS last week. And it's a good look at it right there. So it's all been a little bit clunky forward to centre for them so far. Harvey Reid comes off. Hopefully he's okay. Hasn't worked out how to get an easy kick, Harley, yet, that's for sure.
He's a contested possession man, isn't he, Gary?
He is. He's had the 6, 4 of them contested and 3 clearances and been in about 5 scuffles.
Loud statue. Nick Dacos arcs the back. Takes a bounce. Nice ball forward, through the hands of Long, was in good position. He might butter up again here. West managed to spill it out, finds the line.
Well,
we saw Harvey Johnston go off after he kicked the goal. Have you ever been given an acceptable reason as to why the goal kicker always goes off after kicking a goal?
none that you agree with.
No.
It's about rotations or something nonsense.
It's just rotations, Chief. You would have had to have done it too,
no, hang on, there's 23 blokes in the rotation. Why is it always the turn of the goal kicker?
Oh, look at that. There's room enough on the stage for more than just Scott Pendlebury. Nick Dacos with a reminder of the sublimity of his skills. As Collingwood retake the lead.
I bet it's not his rotation to come off.
So he's the difference out there right now. He's kind of, and there are some talented footballers out there, but none are playing at his level. He's playing at this level up here with 17 touches. He's had 9 score involvements, 3 inside 50s, and now he's kicked a goal as Willem Dersma just gets a little bit more of a lesson on how much room you can afford a superstar.
It's pretty good on the Harvey Norman replay. He does have an asterisk next to his name, Jay, so he doesn't have to come off when he kicks a goal.
Comes off when he wants.
Every time he gets it, something good happens. So he's, as I said, 9 score involvements. The next best on the ground is 4. So he touches it, Collingwood score. He's playing a different game right now.
There's 17 possessions. The next best is 11. Crisp, McCarthy and Kelly for the Eagles.
Williams, one of the Eagles' best. 2 goals to 1 the way of the Pies for the term. Waterman's been in the area. Got the hole. It's against Maynard.
Geez, I reckon he talked the umpire into that one, Howie.
He was confident about it, wasn't he? There must be an arm here.
No, Maynard's not.
He's got to be careful. He's complaining about the replay on the big screen.
I thought he'd done a great job, Maynard. So he pushed back hard.
Well, he's holding his arm, I guess.
Momentarily grabbed it down.
The left arm, but that's one you'd probably like to see let go.
Would have kicked 230 if they were playing that back in your day.
Jake Waterman's been involved in 37% of all West Coast scores this season, the highest percentage for any player in any team. Directly in front, and West Coast back in the lead. 2-point margin.
And that's the great part about this from a West Coast perspective, is they just keep trying, they keep doing what they're here to do. They're not worried about what the occasion means to anybody other than that this is part of their improvement. A big crowd at the MCG, an opportunity to play a team that's not dominating by any stretch of the imagination, and they're having a red-hot crack.
Bailey Williams has been superb, this big fella. Have a look at him in the ruck, and then the follow-up, and then so this is their first goal from centre bounce, and he grows a leg every time you see him play.
As we mentioned earlier, 8 years in the system, he always looked athletic, but he has just blossomed in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
He's got like Luke Jackson qualities to what we're seeing today. I mean, that's the sort of stuff we've seen from him in the first half of this year. It's been so exciting to watch.
8 possessions, 4 clearances and a goal for Bailey Williams.
Good to see a straightish kick from Waterman too. It's been problematic for him. The spin from Dacos, the handle wasn't perfect, but across to Pendlebury and then back again, overwhelmed by the numbers. Murdoch and Dersma, they're working well in there, and here comes Harley Reid. Dersma sweeping. He knew exactly where his housemate was. He's got to follow up. Doesn't matter how, there's an extra gratuitous fend just for the sake of it. Mesmerising stuff. Not perfect, but getting it forward. Well done, Craner. Reeled in the mark and needed to.
His confident level at 50 games, Chief and Gary, is unbelievable, the way that he wants to break a tackle or palm someone off. Imagine what he's going to be like in another 50.
Yeah, no one's broken more tackles than he in the first 50 games of their career.
Stayed. He wants not to pick the football up. McCarthy does. Spins but retains possession. Back by Bazzo. He hasn't got the required distance to Lindsay with that nice left foot to McCarthy.
He waited to hand it back to Lindsay. Might have set his teammate up, Davis, for a fall, but they've done well. They've worked the hands. Cole down the line, over the head of Houston. Murdoch, a couple of touches. Jack Williams stays in, gives it back to Murdoch. Got enough wheels. And Guile to win the footy, keep it in, and finds Waterman. This will test him.
A couple of really clever touches from Milan Murdoch, just to keep that ball alive, to go again.
It's been a serious fight for them.
Yeah, he has.
Josh Dacos to 5 possessions at this stage of the game.
Look at this, just keeping it there and then getting involved again in a beautiful little square-up kick.
This is big from the Eagles.
It is.
So weathered the storm. Collingwood haven't taken their chances. West Coast must.
His time was up, so he couldn't think about it any longer. And maybe as a result of that.
Snaps from 45 out, Chief. They just never work.
Did he run out of time?
He did.
Yep. He just ran out of time.
Yep. But I don't get it. He just kicked a nice set shot goal, and then you go back and you think, well, from here I might just kick it round the corner. And you've got to strike it perfectly from that far out.
Josh Dacos runs out from fullback down towards his skipper Moore, who's entered the team and playing good footy. Darcy Moore.
The Eagles, so the Pies have got to get moving here a bit. They've got to try and find some flow through the middle of the ground. There's been no great urgency, and that's a credit to West Coast. blocked up the holes they want to go to.
McCreary, there's nothing inboard. So just a shallow entry inside 50. Big fish from behind. Jamie Elliott was out the back and dangerous. Takes a bounce, keeps it low, straightens it up, nails the goal. Great finish from the number 5, David Roden enjoys it, as do the Pipe fans here.
Well, we just want to go back, and these are the learnings of a side that's making their way. But I think it's Tyler Young who leaves his man, is it?
To go to the big spoil.
Yeah. So if you're going to leave, you've got to kill the contest. The ball can't go over the back. He leaves Jamie Elliott on the ground and misses a footy. That is, he lands on his feet, takes a deep breath and goes, oh boy. Got to see that one again at half time. So that's just an out-and-out mistake and a really nice finish.
But again, it's not an area you get too upset with as a case. That right? You're trying to be proactive, being positive. You've gone to lend assistance to kill the ball, but you've got to execute the fist. You can't let the ball get over the back.
And what he was doing on Young was doing on Elliott anyway. It's not the ideal matchup.
Ninth lead change in this game. Williams goes solo. So Darcy Moore doing some ruck work for the Pies, which is interesting. Obviously, with Steen gone, we might see more of that in the future. Feeding it through, crisp. Hayes determined. Oh, Pendlebury back over his head. Those instincts. And then helps his teammate to a free kick.
Is he upset the coach, Darcy Moore?
That's unbelievable seeing Darcy Moore in the ruck.
In the ruck of the centre.
Wasn't it?
Like father, like son.
He didn't really actually jump up, did he? He just stood there.
He's not stupid.
Hayes to a crowded goal square. Tim Bivers there, the fly from West. Pendlebury just waiting for a handball to be fed out to him. Instead, it's Lipinski. He's already kicked one great goal from the pocket at this end to the other end, and now he misses this time.
What do they say, Chief? You do something poorly the first time, they won't ask you to do it again?
Yeah, I like it, mate. I like it.
There's a match-up out there. Tyler Young on Jamie Elliott. Jamie Elliott, you don't want to kick 3 in a row because he wants that match-up to start.
Well, yeah.
It's a strange one. He lost him in traffic again. Tyler Young went with the ball. I might have to look at it.
Football now. 35 games at the Tigers. Such a beacon in the air. Bailey J. Williams. Jack Williams. Round the corner. Pendlebury was going to go to the spoil and then realised he probably could have taken the mark. Caught in 2 minds. Ball spills free. Allen to Hoff. Maynard with a bit of physical presence. Now Chris. Got inboard options, does really well dancing through traffic, the number 25. Elliott comes, fist takes care.
It was Bazzo that time.
Yep.
But I think that was just a handover, so Young stays with him.
He's in the ruck here again, Darcy Moore.
He is 203 centimetres.
Yeah, but it's not like Billy Frampton. His legs are broken. You've got your captain who's just come back from injury. I know who I would have in the ruck.
He's a beat behind Bailey Williams, who handed off to Tyler Young. Wandering ball, could have been a free to Reed. Goes up whistle, Quainer takes off to Maynard. And he angles the kick wide on the bounce. And did he keep it in?
Oh, he did.
The umpire. He's umpiring Pendlebury different to everybody else. Back it goes to McCarthy. Just hesitated on the whistle because of who it was, not where he was. Well done from Allen. Worked it way through to Chris. Pendle's not out of this equation completely, although Williams sends it back to the wing. Reed, Quainer, Howe, all amongst the pack. Fell to side bottom. No one's played more games than he with Scott Pendlebury. Back to Howe. They work it out. They're waiting for the kick into the 50. When will it come?
Towards Maynard. A little bit of magic work. Just spun the ball in the air like a basketball. And now Kelly, we're looking for the quick exit. Cole caught. Just got rid of it in time. Another eagle caught this time. Bazzo. Pies fans on their feet. McCreary picks it up. Allen from just inside 50. Straightens up. And then Allen lights up the MCG.
He deserves it in the end. He deserved it. He worked really hard. That was Wayne Harms like in the 3rd row.
Yeah.
They kept him involved. But Ed Allen had a really good moment about a minute before this where he straight lined the footy, kept it in play. And now he's just had his best period, I reckon, over the last couple of weeks. He's starting to grab the opportunity. It was a high investment for the Collingwood Footy Club. He can play. That's a nice finish.
picked the
Until
goal.
now, he's been one of those players that dominates it. VFL comes in, hasn't really been able to grab his opportunities. I mean, in fairness, he hasn't had a lot of continuity, but last week it was good with 17 touches.
And that's him on the bench, Hutto.
And that, yes.
Hey, just a quick one down here, guys. Chief, you picked it well. Darcy Moore's now gone downstairs. I reckon in that ruck contest we got caught behind Hutto.
Yep.
He may have done something. He's in the blue down here with his name on the bench, so we're just keeping an eye on him.
And Jason will never forget that.
Oh, you'd be horrified if you got injured in the ruck.
Yo, swarming all over him. He was trying to find a way out. Hoff.
First back-to-back goals of the afternoon, and they just open up a little gap here, 10 points. They can kick one more here and put enormous pressure on this Eagles team.
Biggest lead so far. Cameron inserts to West. But sore after all that. Jimmy back at the footy. Well done, Schultz. And Josh Dacos able to tame him.
I think their forward pressure has been ramped up a bit too in the last 10 or 15 minutes. So get it in there and go to work. Make sure there's no easy outs from an Eagles point of view.
Williams in towards Marrick. He's hassled by Pendlebury. Side bottom, threw a hand back at it. Frampton. Nick Dacos has had 20, crisp 16. Winning Eagle is McCarthy with 15. Stood up in the tackle, punched it out. Hoff. Marrick. Nick does really well. And receives the free kick. The advantage is not taken.
This will be 21. Hoff's come onto him for the last 5 minutes and would appear to try and quieten him down.
Direct kick forward. Kelly was awake and aware. DeGoey fended off an opponent. Side bottom. 22-2. Now into Houston in game 200. Sweeps it out further to Howe. Little 7-iron, maybe even a 9. Josh Dacos takes the grab.
Just wonder whether Josh has been moved or he's just taking a much more aggressive, proactive look at it. Murdoch on the bench, coincidentally.
Who wouldn't be happy watching him line up for a goal? Done such a good job on him.
6 disposals for the number 7. One game, one goal for the season. 68 in the career for Josh Dacos to make 3 in a row and open up the first real lead of the match. It's been one of those afternoons in front of the sticks. Josh Dacos, of all people, misses the lot.
Jason and I sat here and watched him kick for goal pre-game for 15 minutes. We reckon, conservatively, he kicked 20 in a row. He couldn't hit left foot, right foot.
Torps, around the corner, you name it. He was kicking everything. What about he kicks it out
What
the
about
ball?
set shots for 40?
Got a blood rule here. Carthy's going to come off the ground.
Wide rule, West Coast coming off.
It's a chance for Collingwood to set up really aggressively here. Minute 9 on the clock. Kick the 3 of the last 4 goals. Got themselves out to 10 points. It's just, for the first time, just put a little bit of pressure in their front half, and the Eagles have been a bit jumpy, been a bit nervous trying to get out.
Love one more just before the break to put some serious doubt in the Eagles' minds. Because to this point in time, the Eagles have been good. They've been really competitive. They've fancied their chances of fighting it out over the duration of 4 quarters. But if you just get some separation on the scoreboard, the doubts start to creep in.
Guys have won the last 3 matches against the Eagles. West Coast have surprised them, upset them a few times in Melbourne. Yo. Distance on the kick. Williams on the targets. Dacos immediately. Great reflex take off the pack. West Coast break the play up and get it back over the boundary.
See Milan Murdoch down there jumping up and down.
Get me back on.
Got the bridle on. He's on a hard held. Can't get on.
Max Former. 1 minute remaining in this second term. Shove in the back of Bailey Williams.
53 on the clock. Having an enormous game. The West Coast ruck, and he kicked the goal. He's missed one.
Quayner's down the line. Extra man.
Feeds into Quayner's area now. Here he gets the free.
As we get set up for half-time, one of the storylines here is Darcy Moore. He's blue on our stat sheet right now. As Moon said, he went down to the rooms. That'll be a big unfolding story right there.
Directly after the ruck contest. Steele side bottom. Cruises off the flank. And had a Crisp who's had plenty of it. Big in the line. Dacos 21, Jack Crisp 17, McCarthy 15, Ginby 10 as Craig McRae looks on. Allen having a spell after that goal.
Williams and Dacos, the two standout performers in this first half.
4 goals to 2 for the term for Collingwood. Last gasp. Wobbled forward. Nicely picked up. Steps inside. Centering ball. Is all a little bit too late. Still pretty tight here though at the MCG. The Eagles led it by 2 points at quarter time. Collingwood with the last 2 and 4 goals to 2 for the term. They lead it by 10 points. And the major break. 433 games. The record breakers had 9 disposals. Plenty more of that at half time. Major break here. The Pies lead at 6-9-45 to the Eagles 5-5-35 by 10 points in front of 90,000 plus at a packed MCG.
All right, folks, there we go. It's half time at the MCG in front of a jam-packed crowd. Magpies get out to a 10-point lead here at 6-9. They're still kicking a little bit wayward. 6-9-45, the West Coast Eagles 5-5-35. Getting the job done. Workmanlike fashion is the Magpies. The Eagles still playing pretty good football. Still having their chances. I tell you what, they're going all right, the Eagles. They're going all right. But the Magpies still yet to unleash what they do best. Get that little bit of... that connection going with their forwards, but I'm sure we're going to see that after half time. But it's good news for the Magpies so far. They're 10 points up in this history-making, record-breaking game of Scotty Pendlebury 433. I think they're going to do a little piece on him when the commentators come back, so we'll listen in on that. So I won't jibber-jabber for too much, but to tell you what, it's great news. It'd be good to see the man of the moment, of course, kick a goal. Let's head on over and we'll just have a quick look at some of the goal scorers and the leading possession getters while the commentators are on a break. All single goal scorers out on the ground for both teams today. Let's start off with West Coast. Elliott Yeo, Bailey Williams, Jake Waterman has a single with Harvey Johnson and Brad Hoff. They're your single goal scorers there for West Coast. For the Magpies, Rowan Steele's got one, Lockie Schultz, Patrick Lipinski's got one, Jamie Elliott, Nick Dacos finally hit the big sticks. He's got 1 goal too now, and Ed Allen is the other single goal scorer there for the Magpies. Looking at the disposal getters out there, tell you what, Nick Dacos, he had a ring-a-ding-ding second term there. I think he had about 13 disposals in that second term. I think he was on 8 disposals a quarter time. Now he's up to 21, 13 kicks, 8 handballs, 4 marks, 3 clearances, 1 goal, 2 coming into the game nicely. He can't be stopped, folks. He can't be stopped. Look out for him for a massive second half. Jack Crisp climbs the table up to 17 touches now for the Maggies, and number 2 on the list, 6 kicks, 11 handballs, a mark, 2 tackles, 3 clearances, 1 behind, another easy shot from about 30 out. I tell you what, some of these kicks, I don't know. I tell you what, some of the under 10s would probably kick them. Come on, Pies, kick straight. Tom McCarthy tops the table there for the West Coast Eagles on 15 disposals, 7 kicks, 8 handballs, 5 marks for Tom McCarthy there for the West Coast Eagles. Jordan Ngoe looking good in the centre there at 15 touches. He's doing all right. Laid 3 tackles, which is good. Well done, Jordan. Next on the table, Josh Lindsay on 14, Bailey Williams 13 with Tim Kelly for the West Coast Eagles. Isaac Quainer keeping busy down back there for the Magpies. I think Darcy Moore's gone off the ground. We'll hear a little bit more about that, see what happens to him. Hopefully he'll be back on the ground after half time. The 2 milestone guys out there, Harley Reid for the West Coast Eagles, just the 9 touches. He was a little bit quieter in that second term, 9 touches. 5 kicks, 4 handballs, 4 tackles, 3 clearances. Still doing his job though. West Coast will be looking for him to liven up in the second half. Scotty Pendlebury, well, the man of the moment. He's just had the 9 so far, 2 and 7 with a couple of clearances. Come on, Scotty. Let's get you on the board for a major. All right, the commentators are back. I think they're going to do a little piece on Scotty Pendlebury. So we'll just listen on in and we'll come back to the stats in a moment.
Thank you. Thanks, brother. Thanks, Barry. Let's go, Westy. Enjoy your streams, brother. Hey, Fletch.
First one, mate. Enjoy. Have a
Thanks,
great day.
mate. Thanks, boys. Thanks,
Make sure you sing the song at the end of the
Yeah, we'll do. Thanks, mate. Thanks, boys. Let's go, boys. Come on. Jackson, you want to run out? Come this way. Ready, let's go.
Oh, the raw sounds of this record-breaking day. That are Pepsi Max moments of the first half. Scott Pendlebury going 4-3-3. Congratulations to him. And you can't fault the way Collingwood have handled this occasion. It's been exceptional. We do have breaking news halftime here at the G regarding Darcy Moore, the skipper of Collingwood. We were wondering what was the issue. We saw him in the ruck and then we heard he went down into the change rooms. I'm being told he is done for the day, which is just such another cruel blow in this man's season. It's been up and down, in and out, and unfortunately he's going to miss the second half of this huge occasion for the football club.
Yeah, it's a big out. Obviously the captain of the football club, and he got himself up for today, but he's been in and out, so you just hope to think that maybe this is another injury on top of an injury that he's already had. So it compounds again. It looked like a hamstring the way he was stumbling there as well. So, I mean, that's a big out. Billy Frampton stood up behind the ball, even though Moore got moved into the ruck, so they won't be without their captain for the second half.
I think it'll be a story, should he be playing ruck? We haven't seen him in the ruck for some... I can't remember seeing him in the ruck for some time, so that's for the post-match.
Yeah, that's a massive story just come to hand, and we will get more updates throughout the match with Cam Mooney on the boundary and also Jay Clark, chief football writer at the Herald Sun. Nick Dacos is also a big story. Oh, look at Kingy's smile. Just as I mentioned his name, his last 3 games against the Eagles, he's polled 8 of 9 Brownlow votes and averaged 33 disposals, where he's continuing in similar fashion today. 21 disposals, 1 goal, 2, 9 score involvements in a half of football.
Yeah, and we've seen the champs playing on each other. The slight delight, Kingy. I love that Andrew McCall just put into Nick Dacos. He just needs to play him a little bit closer there. Dacos has had the 21 disposals so far. As you mentioned, Kath, the 9 score involvements as well. But just right there, that was a really pivotal time in the contest, and Collingwood have just taken their opportunities probably better than West Coast as well, and they're separated by Nick Dacos at the moment.
He's such a driven competitor, isn't he? Like, he would want to play a big game in Scotty Pendlebury's milestone match. He's always there. He's always around the action. He's hard to clamp. 21 disposals in a half is huge. 9 score involvements in a half of football is something that's very rarely done. I've only seen that done, I think, half a dozen times for the year in first half. So such is the scope on his game. But I look at the clearances and I still feel like the Eagles have got something to give. In that second term, Reid didn't get a clearance and they still matched them. If they are to come back and on the scoreboard and surge back into this game, the Eagles, it's going to be Yo, Kelly and Reid that can get it done. And Williams is giving them great service.
What about Bailey Williams? I can hear Eagles fans saying right now, stop talking about Nick Dacos and give our man Bailey Williams a little bit of love, because he is a story. Gary Lyon dropped a Luke Jackson reference in the call. The way Bailey's been playing today, the things he's been able to do.
Yeah, he's looked dynamic.
Athletic frame.
Yeah, he's looked really dynamic, and his ability to push forward, right in the late in that first quarter there, is challenging Darcy Cameron. So you look at the way he's possessing the ball. He's had 13 possessions, but he's had 11 contested possessions to go along with 6 clearances, King.
And he's a fair bit cheaper than Luke Jackson too. I'm sure Gaz would have referenced that as well.
You've been dropping the money references all day. It needs to stop.
Big money day today.
We're going to get an update from Geelong next, where the 2 contenders in Geelong and Stiffy are going to head-to-head. And tonight it's off to Adelaide Oval, Port hosting Carlton in Saturday night football. Can the Blues go back-to-back under interim Josh Fraser? Will Port secure their 4th win of the season? We'll find out tonight.
All right, so a little bit of bad news there for Darcy Moore. Well, he's out of the game for the rest of the second half, folks. So, yeah, bad news for the skipper of Collingwood. Out a Pendle's record-breaking game. But tell you what, the other backman, let's hope they can stand up there. He's playing all right there, he was, Darcy Moore. As he said, he was in the ruck. I haven't seen him in the ruck before, and that's where the injury occurred. Well, let's hope it's nothing too major and he can get back not too far away. Let's just roll back to some of the stats there. We got down to Harley Reid, Scotty Pendlebury. There we go. Bo McCreary, 9 disposals for the Maggies. Pat Lipinski and Billy Frampton. Also 9 with Darcy Cameron. For the West Coast, Million Murdoch's on 9 with Ryan Marrick. And Dersma also on 9. Elliott, just a quiet game so far, just the 8 touches. He has kicked a goal though, 6 kicks, 2 handballs and a clearance for him. Same with Josh Dacos, a little bit quiet today. Did have a shot, shanked the ball, out of bounds on the full. 8 kicks, 8 disposals, 4 kicks, 4 handballs for Josh. Side bottom, quiet, 7 touches. Let's roll on down. Liam Baker, West Coast will be looking for him to do a little bit more too. He's quiet in the opening half. Just the 7 touches for him, 3 kicks and 4 handballs for him. All right, let's just roll on down. A few more. As I said, Darcy Moore out of the game. Lockie Schultz on 5 with Braden Maynard. Willie Hayes on 5 also. Bo Allen on 5 there. Jamie Elliott, just the 4 touches. Be nice to see them lower their eyes, find him as a leading target down forward. Just the 4 touches, 4 kicks. He's had 3 marks, 3 tackles. He's kicked 1 goal, 1 though. All right, there we go. We'll just have a look, a little bit of a look at the team stats as we go. And as we can see there, the West Coast Eagles, they're plus 13 in the stats in the disposal count up to half time already. Magpies, just a couple in the handballs in front, but they're about, 12, 15 kicks ahead to West Coast Eagles. Inside forward 50s, 28-25. Magpies brought that back a little bit in that second term. West Coast going well above season average of their inside forward 50s. Magpies 15 scoring shots for their 25 entries. And of course, West Coast 10 scoring shots for their 28 entries there so far. The efficiency, disposal efficiency for both teams, 73.9 for the Maggies, up around average. West Coast going well above average here on 78. Although the efficiency inside 50, Magpies doing well there at 64 versus 32. Free kicks, 12-7. The umpires are tending to let this game roll a bit. It's actually not too bad, the umpiring today, so we'll give a tick to the umpire up until half time. They're doing a good job there. Hit-outs, Magpies are plus 5 in that department, 16-11. West Coast Eagles, they're doing the job on the clearances zone, 19-15. They're plus 3 out of the centre. That's 6-3, plus 3 out of the centre for the West Coast Eagles, and 1 plus around the grounds, 13-12. Contested, very tight, 67-65. It's just the Magpies by 2. Uncontested, just a 15 in it. Turnovers, it's a very low turnover game today, as you can see, 23-31. It's a low turnover game, which is really, really good. The marks, West Coast is grabbing it a bit more, 49-44. Marks inside forward 50. Both teams having their chances. 7-4. The Magpies are plus 3 on the inside forward 50 marks. Just need to get that up a little bit better. Just looking at the tackles though, 38 the Magpies. That's really good pressure they're putting on the Eagles. Eagles need to lift in this area. They've only had 17 up to half time. Super duper low. And as you see, the inside forward 50 tackles for the Eagles when this loads back up. Only 1. They've got to do a lot better than that. Magpies 11. All right, let's head back to the commentators. Let's head back now.
Overcome a 43-point deficit, seal a 6-point win. They moved to 5 and 6 for the year. And the first time they led all game, Kingy, was after the siren.
I'll run you through it, Kath. We've got hours to talk about this. It was amazing, really, the way this game swung. And we talk a lot about the Darwin effect on the Suns and did it make them tired late in game. But they didn't lose the game. The Kangaroos won it. They went after them. They challenged them with great inside 50 kicking. And their leader stood up. Finn O'Sullivan was huge. Wardlaw, my God. It's not hard to fall in love with little Jorge, Jack. He was terrific late in that last quarter. He had 13 touches, 7-goal quarter. just amazing. Great for the Kangaroo fans who have been waiting for this feeling for so long.
Oh, look at the scene.
Pounds off the back of obviously the start of the season as well, where they were 4-2 through 6 rounds, and they needed a win after last week too, and the disappointing effort they put up against Adelaide. So good for the Kangaroo supporters to celebrate a win.
Jay Clark, welcome. Tough one to swallow for Damien Hardwick.
Yeah, fallout. He was grumpy too, Damien Hardwick. I mean, continued question marks about the maturity, resilience of the Gold Coast Football Club. Completely capitulated in the last quarter, and a spotlight on the deal with the NT that come off back-to-back games, of course, in the Northern Territory. Damien Hardwick said they were simply outrun. They froze defensively in the second half, and even his counterpart, Alistair Clarkson, said, we could take them on in that second half and outrun them. So there'll be a spotlight on that for sure.
We'll talk about that a little bit later in our post-game show. Right now, it's a shame with the fixture. We've got two great games occurring. Geelong leading the Swans by 38 points. You can also catch that on Channel 503. What an occasion to be a little NAB Oz kicker playing halftime here at the G. 90,000 plus fans watching on. It's Collingwood by 10 points. The second half coming up next.
All right, there we go. The final break, and then they'll be back for the bounce of the ball for the second half. Just want to say g'day to Ang, who's in the chat. Hey, Paul, what's going on? Hopefully your Magpies get up over the line for you. Oh, I did forget to show the live ladder. Catherine, how you doing? Welcome in, of course. Eddie G, shouty. Lakers fanatic, how you doing? Happy Saturday. That's it. Good to see you here. This is AFL football action with the mighty Magpies getting the job done so far by 10 points up until half time. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you in here. Of course, we've got the other game over there, if you like NRL rugby, the St George Illawarra Dragons and the New Zealand Warriors, where the Warriors are leading 10-6. 10-6 over in that game in the NRL. And of course, 15 minutes into the third term down there at GMHBA Stadium, it's the Cats. I did like the Cats there today. 11-11-77. They're leading the Sydney Swans 7-3-45. Geelong looking like they might go on for victory there. They are 32 points up. And of course, just before we go any further, let's just have a quick look at the live ladder. And of course, there we go. Of course, after Fremantle winning last night's game, and Geelong look like they might be set for victory. Freo will be on top of the ladder after this round 11. And of course, Geelong will move up into third, Sydney down into second. And of course, what that means for the Magpies in this game, which is great news for the Magpies, they'll jump all the way up from about 12 or 13 spot, they'll jump up into the top 10. They'll be sitting 9th on the ladder if they happen to win this game. So we need the Magpies to win this game. We actually need them to win, folks. We need to get them to put a margin on West Coast Eagles. As you can see, the Magpies percentage there is only 100.4%. We need to get that lifted up. Probably need to get another 2 or 3 or 4% on that and start climbing that percent. Although they've got that half a game, they did have that draw during the season, the 2 points. You just never know if there's another draw around the corner somewhere. So at the moment, if there's no other draws for the season, the percentage probably won't make much difference for the Magpies, because if they win today, they'll be on 22. So that that 2 points could make a difference. For the West Coast Eagles, though, if they lose, they'll be down in 15th spot. They'll be down there in 15th spot, so not too bad. West Coast already won 3 games for the season so far. There we go. Let's just, I did want to just let you know, so far the winners in round 11, just while we're on this quick break from the commentators. Hawthorn defeating Adelaide 75-66. Richmond, can you believe it? Richmond Dreamtime game over Essendon. They had a victory, 74 Richmond, 56 Essendon. And of course, Fremantle did the job. I'll tell you what, that was a cracking game. Fremantle ran away with that one at Optus Stadium there Friday night. Fremantle 104, St Kilda 74. And of course, an absolute cracking ring-a-ding-ding game there today at Marvel Stadium. North Melbourne defeating the Gold Coast Suns, coming from about 42 points behind, kicking a goal after the siren to win that game. 111-105 over the Gold Coast Suns. Of course, as I said, at GMHBA Stadium, 18 minutes in there. 77 Geelong, 51 Sydney. And of course, this game, don't forget, There is a game later tonight. I won't be covering that. Port Adelaide, Carlton. And, of course, tomorrow 2 games are still there to be played. GWS Giants versus the Brisbane Lions, and the Western Bulldogs will be taking on Melbourne. So they are the games played, and still games to... hey, Aiden, how you doing? How you doing? What's happening? Go Pies! That's all we like to say, go Pies. Anyway, I think it's time, folks. We head back down to the action. We're only seconds away from the bounce of the ball. And unfortunately, if you're late to come in, Darcy Moore has been out for the game for the second half with a slight injury. All right, let's head back down to the action for the second half, whereas the Magpies by 10 points.
Doesn't necessarily mean it happened because he was in the ruck. It's just unusual for a man that has struggled with injury. It's a shame. It's a shame for Darcy Moore.
Dennis never thought maybe they wanted to play out the field quickly. You might use a Ferrari. Third quarter gets underway. Darcy Cameron's also played well. So has Bailey Williams. So both the ruckmen have had big influence on this game.
Yeah, Williams, the highest rated game since the 2024 game of Jake Waterman. So he's looked outstanding.
They've got to start well again, West Coast. Got to get themselves back in the game early. If they allow Collingwood to kick the first goal or two, it becomes a real scoreboard game then.
They have won the territory, 55-45 so far. And well defensively positioned was Bazzo, rolling through to take the mark. Bazzo, just his second game of the season. Had to be a well-weighted kick to get to Lindsay. The turnover fell into the arms of Schiltz, and one of the few times McStay has been able to present. He's only had 2 disposals so far today, but that's a very costly turnover.
This is the change that's come over the game. Probably the last 10 or 15 minutes of that second quarter as the front half game of Collingwood has emerged. They just started to hunt and put pressure on. They haven't had as many inside 50s, but when it does go in there, they've kept it in from the pressure and the relentless harassment. And that's how Schiltz cuts his teeth, and McStay gets the benefit of it.
He's their leading goal kicker this year. This should be converted. And that is 3 in a row to settle the Collingwood nerves. The Eagles really taking up the challenge today on this big occasion of the MCG, but the last 2 before the half, and now the first of the third. It is a game-high 16-point margin.
It's been good, Jimmy. He has struggled to find space, Dan McStay, but there's also a lesson to be learned here for young Josh Lindsay. Time is not a luxury you have in this game. You can't just jog up there and expect to take a chest mark, allowing the ball to come to you. You've got to go and meet it. If he runs towards that ball, takes it in his hands, he takes the mark. That's just part of the steep learning curve.
And this is what we're talking about. So they were slow out of the blocks in a part of the game that they really prided themselves on last year and the years previous. But in the last 5 weeks, it's come back. And it's cranked up again here. Darcy Moore sits, the Collingwood captain. That's going to be a big story out of today. Not as big as the biggest story, of course. Can the Eagles lay another blow?
3 in a row for the Pies. Game high lead. Frampton stays in the contest. Out to Champion from the pockets of the instep. And it floats through the Champion.
The champ.
What a finish that was from Malachi. Unconventional, but straight through the big sticks.
Yeah, he's enjoyed it. It's a good celebration, but we need to see the contact coming off the boot, because I'm not quite sure what sort of kick that was, Gaz.
That floated every which way in the air, too.
Let's have a look at it. What he does is he times it. He gets front and square, and then he runs on when he realises there's an opportunity for a hand pass over the top. No matter how it goes through, as long as it goes through, and that's the quick answer that they needed. Let's watch it come off the boot here.
It's never in doubt for the champ. He just loved that off the boot. And they have kicked 2 goals from centre bounce. The Collingwood fans nonplussed, of course.
Nonplussed,
They stay in touch. 10 points.
Nothing. Well, it's the single most parochial crowd I ever remember seeing.
Yeah.
There's about 11 West Coast people behind 1 goal. That's the cheer squad, and that's it.
And the ruckman taking turns at the moment. It was Collingwood and Cameron out to the wing. Harley Reid, he's fending as he's picking up the footy, but no-nonsense approach from Long. And the quick handoff to go with it to McCreary. This should be a deep entry. Dacos is playing deep at the start of the quarter, waiting for the crumbs. He was at the back. They went to the front. Oh, trouble for Baker. Big trouble. How big? Oh, not as big as it might have been.
He took on the tackle, didn't he, Land Baker then?
Crisp was there. Tackle count, look at that, 41-17.
Yep.
Baker watching Dacos.
And that tackle count there is probably more pertinent to what we've seen in the last quarter. 12-1 inside 50 tackles to Collingwood. So they've ramped it right up here.
Williams, Cameron, Call it a draw.
No, Jordan, it was fine. He didn't claim it. Let's go. Darcy, Bailey, set again.
Just telling Jordan to go to call it, no slam. Cameron into his hands, now spills free, tries to tap it to the small man. One just perched over the footy.
Just dropped it, I think.
No, he did.
Yeah, he was a little slow by hand, wasn't he? A little clumsy, got away with it.
Williams concerned about what Cameron might do, but not as concerned about what this guy might do. Dacos' kick, Ricochet stays in unexpectedly, bounces back. Steele's been excellent.
The 13 inside 50 tackles to 1 right now. 3 tackles each to Lockie Schultz and Jamie Elliott. So good defensive work from their small forwards inside the forward half of the ground, forward 50 particular. Can't get it out right now, the Eagles.
17th coming up for McCarthy, leads the Eagles. Nick Dacos with 22 leads everyone. Potential opportunity for the turnover. Advantage is paid. McQuarrie wants inboard options. Maybe could have gone alone from there. Almost too unselfish. Baker. Out to Jinby, and they get away with it through Bazzo. Forward hand pass. Misses Davis. Quainer sends an opportunity.
These are big minutes for West Coast. They're under severe pressure in defence here.
Yeah, and good on Collingwood. So they realise this. They know they've got them under some sort of pressure. 91% inside their front half here. They're not letting this out till they score.
Back at it again. Cameron, quick kick, too quick, disrupted by DeGoey accidentally. Try and stumble on through again. McCarthy just eked the handball to Davis, snatched by Chris. DeGoey had time for a look, and a left foot kick that has landed. You can usually commit murder on the dance floor in front of the goals.
Oh, that's a reversal. That is done by Jimmy.
93,000 people love it. But that is a hammer blow. You don't need to gift the champ a second goal. And it's not over yet.
I had my head down, so Harvey Norman replay for the first time. I need to have a look at this. But when you're under all sorts of pressure, you've got an opportunity to get the ball out of your front half via a free kick that was paid.
So the free kick was against Nick Dacos.
Yep, and then just
went down a bit easily.
Well,
but didn't need to do it.
I think it's easy. You might think it's easy as well, Jace, but why would you give the umpire an opportunity to make that decision?
When you've got the ball, no need to get involved with an opposition player.
The umpire was 50 centimetres away.
Yeah, and you haven't been able to get the footy out of your back half for the whole quarter.
Just to argue, should it be paid though?
I wouldn't, Hutto, but all these down the ground free kicks have been paid regularly.
Titanic contest in the middle. Pendlebury, Reid. Don't argue, and he got an argument. Pendlebury with that sublime skill. Josh Dacos punched it out the side bottom. Collingwood starting to roll now. Too much on the ball. McQuarrie, Nick Dacos, brilliant. Back to Jamie Elliott. Tight on the pocket. It's coming, Jamie! It's home! What a finish on the number 5. And Collingwood fans are starting to get what they came for.
This is exactly what the Eagles didn't want, is for the Collingwood boys on field to get a bit of a head of steam up, because what happens then is that 90,000 on field are going to get a head of steam up. So they've now kicked 5 of the last 6 goals, and they've just started to go into a little bit of razzle-dazzle stuff. So the flip on from Nick Dacos, the bang from the boundary to Jamie Elliott, these are the things that can just start the fire for the Magpies, and it'll be hard to put out.
Saw Lipinski kick one from that pocket earlier. That might be even better. A couple of rippers. Collingwood coach Craig McRae enjoyed it.
Oh, wow, he said. He's up out of the seat. So this is the big moment right now. They can crack this right open, the Collingwood Footy Club.
Yeah.
Here goes the chant.
Yep, the chant goes up, and the champ is back out there. Pendlebury kicks it out to the members to give them a good look at it. Ball just hangs around for a while. Lipinski made the contest. Side bottom was part of that last play. It was a tough time getting a kick away, but he did manage it. And Pendlebury got a handball forward. Comes back to him. Well done, Bailey Williams. Protected it. Kelly, some indecision. Duggan, you can understand why. Murdoch part of the chain from Dersma. And the entry kick is poor on this occasion.
Gee, that's a disappointing kick. They've worked so hard to win the contested ball on the wing. They had numbers, they had time. And he's done a really good job on Josh Jacobs, Murdoch, but that was a shocking kick.
He kept Josh Jacobs to his lowest rated half in 3 years.
5 of the last 6 goals away of Collingwood. There is Josh. He's got the runners out wide. Into the hands of Hayes. High, up and under ball. McStay's trying to get front position. Spills to a dangerous area. Out towards Elliott. Kick one from the boundary. Now kicks one from in front. 3 in a row for the Pies and they're away.
I think it was McCarthy. He chose to fly for the mark instead of killing the ball through. I'm just ringing a bell, Rox. In actual fact, it might have been Waterman who went all the way back, was it? He's now heading forward. I want to have a look at this here. It's Waterman that goes for the mark. And you've got to take that mark or you've got to kill the ball. But to drop the mark and spill it back into the forward of the 10-metre square, it's just, it's no good.
Get the feeling the party started. Yep. We get the feeling the party has started here at the MCG. 7 inside 50s. They've kicked 4 goals, 1 from those 7 entries in this third quarter. It's out to 29 points. Pendlebury's in the middle of the ground. Nick's got a taste for it. Jamie Elliott's doing party tricks from the boundary. Just hold on to your hats here. This might get really loud.
A 13th score involvement for Nick Dacos. West Coast whistle. Goes to Tim Kelly.
20 scores from 32 inside 50s. They just continue to hit the scoreboard every time they go forward.
Kelly sends it low but deep. He was there for Maynard or Cameron. Finish the job. Champion feeding it through. Johnston. Back to Marek. Now Champion in the pocket. Happy to feed it back. And Duggan, co-captain, takes the mark. Can the Eagles find someone inside 50? Very densely populated, as you would expect on a slow play. And Cameron just waltzes across and takes the mark. That was the trademark of Darcy Cameron in the last few years. Getting back and providing cover for the defence.
They are a hard team to score against. Irrespective of how they go in the Collingwood Footy Club, they are genuinely hard to score against, although Darcy's going to give them a chance to go back in. But they've kicked 6 goals for the game, the West Coast Eagles, from 30 entries.
To mind you, for an experienced player, you'd like Liam Duggan to make a better decision with that kick going inside 50 than to kick to a 1-on-2.
Collingwood's kicked 6 of the last 7. Marek just sets it up. 20 from home. Frampton will come from the side. Maynard bashes it. Harley Reid is taken care of by DeGoey, who's still around the contest.
Nick Dacos resting forward. And Tyler Young's got the job on him, so good luck.
It's a free to the Eagles.
That's one way to keep it away from that matchup.
Yep. Well, Dacos spent more time forward last week than we've seen all year.
45% last week against the Swans.
Yep. This is Murdoch. He's out of contract, so it's going to be an interesting one with the Eagles. I'm sure they won't want to let him go. He proved his bona fides at the next level for so long, but he was determined to play AFL football, and his dream came true at the start of this year. The Eagles need him to go back and clinically finish.
Oh, wow.
That's a heck of a kick.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's a mature age, 25 years old now, Milan Murdoch, but he's making every post to win it. So he comes in and he plays that small forward role, and as you told us pre-game, guys, he did that job against, was it Whitfield last week, and now he's done it against Josh Tucker. He's showing another string to his bow and doing the jobs that he's asked to do very, very well.
No, he's a beauty. He looks absolutely ready-made. He's got hunger. He's busy. He looks like he's dedicated, wants to do a job. So he's a ripper. So they've been able to just skip one back after Collingwood had the most unbelievable period of dominance in this third quarter. This kicking efficiency was 0% for the West Coast Eagles as they kicked 3 goals, Collingwood. So they needed one back.
And they got it. Nick Dacos goes off the ground, nicely cut off the other way by Allen.
So he wasn't forward for too long, Gaz, about 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? They get one goal kicked against him and he goes back into the middle of the ground. think Tyler Young's just gone. Thank the Lord for that.
Duggan. Shane Warne, side of the ground. Waterman arrived late. Seemed to have his name all over it. Just spilled out of the midriff region.
That's no disrespect to Tyler, by the way. It just looks a strange matchup for a man who stands at 196 centimetres.
Jack Williams down in the ruck. Cameron grabs it out. Dacos, one of those in-the-air hand passes, can't get it clear.
Great thrill for any young man, though, to sit there and say, I stood Nick Dacos one out in the square. How cool is that? Until
the ball comes, that's a great thrill, Jace.
Yeah, maybe I got carved up afterwards. But
Elliott Yo's the spare behind the ball here. He's a kick forward of where McStay will look to release the handball. He had Pendlebury, but he used his boot instead. Bit of separation from West. Yo had to come across. McCarthy was receiving it from Allen, and then it's a kick that drops short. Well done, Hoff. And it's played on Nick Dacos before. He's been by his side at times today. A regular tagger. Kicks to the wing. Jack Williams, good contest against Cameron. It's what they needed. Frampton's there as well. Dersma couldn't get the hands clear. There's Steele and Davis.
Darcy Moore, a quick run in the ruck, and's got a hamstring issue and subbed out of the game.
let's hope it's at the mild end as far as hammies go.
He's had a tough run, hasn't he, Chief? Jimmy's aware it'll be a lasso. Might have touched it in the end. No.
Dan, put on the line. Put on the line over here. Come around. Stand.
Set up for the switch if they can get the first kick.
He's all in heart and soul, man, is Ruben Jinby. Back to Young. Touch uncertain.
Indecision, that was the problem, Howie. He needed to go straight away.
So then he has to go straight down the line. It's a good grab in front by Dersma. From wrestling boots. Punching into the middle of the Baker's nice. Sidebottom does well to restrict him. Stopped him from going and spits it out wide.
So McCarthy has Norwich waiting on the 50. He was hoping that Maynard might have just overcommitted. He's too smart for that. So again, it's a difficult kick that the most compelling option. Just sets it to the square. It's got a fair piece of it, so it's very deep and awkward to try and mark for Waterman. Davis had the first go at it. Murdoch was there or thereabouts, but once again, it's over. Premium on the next goal as far as the Eagles are concerned. 9 lead changes in the first half, but since late in the second term, it's been a game dominated by Collingwood. Eagles have got to take what chances are on offer. Jack Williams rucking, Murdoch swamped again.
Will Dersma mark and punch kick into the middle of the ground. That's why you go number one. He's just got enormous talent.
Eagles by 2 at quarter time. Collingwood 10 at the half. Currently out to 23 points. Exit ball, McStay and Jimmy.
Isn't Jimmy just a fascinating case study?
He is.
If he had his time again, he could maybe... He was a midfielder, I reckon, through the under-18s.
What about the quarter from Darcy Cameron? There's a 450-game milestone, which isn't bad either.
Big turn up for Ian.
It is. Darcy Cameron's had 10 possessions this quarter. Double the next best on either side.
Going to get another one now.
He is having a dominant quarter. 4 clearances himself.
Darcy Cameron straight away.
8 contested too, Joe.
Well done by Burrows. 450 games.
Yeah, he's 3 grand finals, I think, as well, and an All-Australian.
Now running through the middle is Collingwood with the overlap hand pass. McCreary. He's got Lipinski out wide. Perfectly weighted kick. Now what's he got inside? He goes for the best option and Nick screws it back. Sets a task of the forward. Spills to ground. They hover Collingwood. The Eagles need to be good under pressure. They sit on top of it. Hemming him.
Apologies, 3 All-Australians, 10 grand finals.
10 grand finals.
Burrows in 450 games.
We saw Michael Tuck with his 7 premierships earlier on today.
Just jabbed it to book 15. Johnson reacted and he probably just a little bit of panic because he had nothing on the horizon.
Well, every West Coast player pushed right up the field. Such is the pressure they're under. They're feeling the need to just clog up the defensive 50. There was no outlet kick whatsoever, and he had no runners with him.
4 goals to 2 for the term. From Nick to Josh. Where next? More short, controlled football to Crisp. Seagulls flying low this weekend at the MCG. Avoids the Gulls and kicks to half forward. And Got across nicely there, did Tyler Young.
You're happy with this, Chase? So they'd given up 6 of 7 goals, the Eagles. So they've one behind the footy, gone a bit slow and clogged it up, locked it down. They get a goal back. Just happy for them to close this down a bit.
Well, I guess you've got to learn to defend when the opposition gets a run on against you. I get that. But you're within reach where you need to kick a couple of goals and you're right back in the contest as well.
Well, this is Doug, and he goes up there and joins the throng around the footy.
And whilst you might at least put an extra up there, you've got to keep some structure ahead of the ball.
Harley having a chat with the coach on the pine. Pendlebury. It's a centering kick, really, off the ground. Important contest here. Big tackle came on Maynard from Cole. Still the contest is to be won. They pile on.
And Tom Cole, it's a terrific effort. Had a full head of steam up. Is it? Mini McQualkie with Harley Reid. Talking him through a few things. He has gone looking for that fend off a few times in this game when probably we reckon he didn't need to.
Cameron was clever. Dacos was run into. Spiralling ball forward from Dersman. Into a little gap. The Eagles chip it forward to Waterman. Sweeping hand pass to Yo. Kick the first. Premiership player. Steadies. It's a disappointing result for Elliott Yo.
Very disappointing. They'd set that up well. You know, they'd set it up beautifully. You've just got to kick that and you're right back in the contest.
And they've dug in here. They look like the floodgates are about to open, to be fair. And they've dug in a hostile environment and just stopped the bleeding.
You kick that and you're back inside 3 kicks.
Jack Williams came with good intent. Schultz. McCarthy makes sure that it goes out. There's going to be a host of changes, as you can see. Harley Reid back out on the ground after the conference and the advice from the coach. Dersman has a break.
I need that man, Bailey Williams, back out there too.
Jack Williams holding up the fort for the moment. Going up against Long, who's the third option for Collingwood in the ruck today. Schultz out with the handball. Quick whistle from the umpire. And it still sits at 22 points.
Dacos having a spell. He's had 28 disposals and kicked 2 goals too, the little champ. Scungy ball to Schultz. Thought about going mid-air. Pendlebury settles over it. Might have thrown that out. Umpires are happy to give a free kick against him.
The boundary wasn't?
No. That's when he signed autographs in the crowd and still had the ball in play.
Again, it's a slow entry. Not going to be easy to mark. No held out. Waterman had the fly, had the hands over it. Muscle touch from Champion. Williams flings it back. Lindsay's kick. Frampton playing in front of you. No access for the Eagle.
Clever play from Frampton. He knew where the dangerous space was and he just cut it off.
He's taken 13 intercept marks now in this back half for the Magpies.
Scarfed had a great career. There's Billy Frampton at Collingwood. He's a premiership forward, of course, playing a defensive role on Harris Andrews.
They get dominated in the air, so just want to see whether they can go to something different.
High contact, West Coast.
Advantage. Lindsay takes it. Lethal left foot. High ball. Inside 50. Houston comes from the side. Went the hang. Maynard. Josh Dacos getting more and more involved in the game. Gives it straight back where it came to Jay Lindsay. Looks inboard.
Doesn't want to go high and long again.
He's just doing it again and again.
Yeah, needs to try and find something different.
Well, this time he's got Bailey Williams forward at least.
Selfie instead. He ran into trouble. Gave it straight in the crew. They could get opened up the other way here. Long through the middle. DeGoey. Houston forward hand past McCreary. Want his pace. And he just barrels it forward after someone jumped on his head. There's a couple free. West, Elliott, Jinby, not a convincing fist. Didn't clear the area. Pendlebury's around the football. And it's held in.
McCreary actually resisted the temptation to handle the turn in return.
It's just cold. It was like he was trying to pull a steer down the rodeo.
Clearing kick is in a rush from Davis. It does the job partially at least. Handled back by Quainer. Crisp. Fraction high. So, same scenario that West Coast faced repeatedly. Slow entry. Crisp follows through on the directions he gives. Pendlebury's at the front of the pack. Kelly to Goey. Wanted it. Got it. Set it high. It's awkward for everyone. Elliott's been pivotal. Eagles do the job required.
Jamie, come on. Thank you.
Crowd are just quiet. They got on a roll there when they kicked those 3 in a row, and now they've just had to sit back down for a minute.
Bullet from Lindsay was effective. Cole goes to the middle. Williams will be under pressure here. Collingwood trying to swamp the contest, but they get it out.
Great effort, Jim. Yes. Keep it moving forward.
Brady Hoff. And they send it further out the wing. Happy to go back to Kelly. Collingwood really nicely set up in defence. We'll test that set up now. And in a little gap, popped up Elliott Yo.
Bit of variation in the entry.
A lower kick, Hutto, lower the eyes. I think the message at three-quarter time is that we're not going to get ourselves back into it by bombing high into a contested situation where 14 intercept marks have been taken. So lower the eyes, kick it along the ground. I always say kick it along the ground if you're in any great doubt. I reckon Billy Frampton would like a ball around his ankles as much as he does the ball that comes in nice and high.
Missed a shot on the run from a similar spot, needs to kick this.
Premiership player against the Pies back in 2018. Kicked the first Elliott Yo for 2 in a row for the West Coast Eagles.
Good effort.
He does just that, so they stem the bleeding and start to turn it back the other way, the Eagles. Let's have a look at the Bunnings warehouse build-up with Jason Dunstall.
Well, it's one of the few kicks to advantage that we've seen with the Eagles going forward. Look at this here. Is this holding the ball? Did he get a hand pass on? That's the touch from Jinby that kept it going forward for the Eagles. Otherwise, it was a real danger spot for them. And then Elliott Yo he loses his man, Jeremy Howe. He gets caught ball watching. He pops into space, gets the great kick from Tim Kelly, and then he's able to go back and convert this time.
Where do you reckon Jeremy Howe least wants his footy? That's what they've got to start thinking about, these fellas. When they're kicking inside 50, what do the Collingwood defenders least want? That is a ball that's been kicked lower with a forward that pushes up at the contest.
Pies got out to a 29-point lead, and it felt like it was going to be a procession from there. The Eagles have had other ideas. Dacos created his own way forward. He involves De Goey. Just soften the kick a fraction. They can jump hard. Long does that. McCarthy, they're under siege again. Hayes in the outside waiting for it, never arrived. Allen pinched it and taken over was Duggan, and happy to be that man. He's not happy. Should have been holding the ball. Have a good look. 17 points. Dacos is waiting at the front. Bailey Williams knocked it that way. Hayes. Williams on the follow-up to Reed. He had Kelly gliding past. Was reluctant to use him. Instead, it's a handball forward to Cole. And the Eagles get an opportunity. Jack Williams, the front. Quainer just ruffled his feathers enough. He was going to soccer. He picks it up. Found a teammate, Murdoch. They're getting close to the Eagles. Back to Williams again. Elliott Yo. Space closed up. Dacos handed it back to Murdoch unexpectedly. Still it bubbles around. And eventually Cole is shut down.
They've got the appetite again for it, the Eagles. So working really hard. Haven't quite the polish as the man of the moment comes up from the stairs. He had that strapping on his hand in the pre-game, so not sure what that was all about.
He hit the ground a little bit earlier, guys. He was looking at it for a while, so maybe he's gone back and get that restrapped.
Yeah.
4 weeks, Pendlebury. Quaynor. To the outer side, McStay in good position. Williams. Fantastic. Young. Reed in the pink boots. Scything ball forward. It'll clear everyone. Jack Williams with a bit of a step. Can he finish it? Not quite. It hangs up for a long time, though. And they will not be denied. And Champion has it.
But that ball is exactly what we're talking about. It goes to ground. The ball hits grass, and all of a sudden the odds go back in the favour of West Coast. It was a miss kick. It was a miss by Harley. But this is the result of a ground ball going in there.
Malachi for a second from a tight angle. Wonderful finish from Malachi Champion. Last 3 for the Eagles. Back to an 11-point game, and their small travelling supporter base are up.
It's encouraging, isn't it? So you win a few clearances, you get a little bit of territory to go in. And then importantly, with their territory, they're not just bombing it high, it's outnumbered situations. So this kick misses the target, but it's designed for a pair that are actually competing. And then it goes over the top, and you've got your man playing in front. in Williams. So he gets the opportunity to kick the goal, shanks it, that's okay, but you get a second go at it. So they kept it alive well.
We asked him what sort of ball Billy Frampton would like coming into his defensive 50. He doesn't want that ball coming in at his feet, at his toes, and it was Williams who was clean as a whistle through there. And the champ comes up and kicks his second.
Yeah, and the third in a row.
That's the best name in footy, I think.
Never guess he was Eddie Betts' nephew, would you, with a goal now like that. Pendlebury tries to go to work in the middle, but so does Harley Reid.
That's true.
Brought him to a standstill.
He got one in the chops. This is game on here. This has been a fantastic 10 minutes from the Eagles.
And that man has been central to so much today. Bailey Williams bundles it up. Good contest from Cole. Anything goes. The soccer kick out of the air. Bit of Jackie Chan stuff from Murdoch.
Bit of Jackie Chan.
Have to get a mention every time. There's Jackie. Murdoch. Fed it on the inside and Hoff into siege.
Look at the belief here that's starting to build, though. They're swarming again, under pressure. The Collingwood defence inside 50s for the quarter were well in favour of Collingwood earlier. They're 13-11 now.
Everything's evened up in this quarter now.
It's 2.5 minutes. Dersma gets it in. Marriage to the front.
Free kick, Marriage.
Yep.
He's got it. This is unbelievable.
Oh, this is a big kick now. Bring it back to a one-kick game. But they're just getting it in quickly, and they're getting it into contests. They're not just, even though that was a skew-if kick, they had even numbers and they competed in the air.
He just grabbed front spot here just at that last second, and you could just see Allen just panic a little bit.
Well, that's what 3 goals in a row does.
Another Melbourne boy. And the Eagles took in the mid-season draft their first pick in 2023. 21 years of age. Here he is at the venue. He would have dreamed of playing out in the big time, and this is big to cut the margin to 5 points. Not quite.
Not quite.
Unfortunate.
Peppering. 4 goals, 2 apiece for the quarter.
29-point margin after Elliott's second this term, Gary.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure now back on the Pies, Howie.
Houston reduces the kick to Howe. North a short Josh Dacos lead, pumps it down the line towards his ruckman, who's swapped by a couple of Eagles. DeGoey rides one tackle.
Holding, DeGoey.
And was held there, Jordan.
Stand.
Talking about hugging the line with a minute 20 on the clock. Love to pinch a late one here, Collingwood. And the Eagles hold them off and maybe turn one the other way. Shepherding into the mid-drift of Schultz. Not much ahead of the ball, so he'll have to wait.
Got to get back hard here. Got to get numbers back, the Eagles.
Minute 5 on the clock, the number 8. Magnificent gold lettering on the back of the Collingwood jumper. Ball spilled. Ungainly on the left. And not able to take advantage was Charlie West.
Didn't look completely natural on the opposite, but he got it going around the corner. 3 Eagles flew for the one ball, got in each other's way. It came to ground, nearly cost themselves a goal. They've got to stand tall here. No mistakes. Play out the last minute. Do not cough up another goal.
Pies have won the quarter, but only by 1 point. 4-3 to 4-2.
Well, they have, Hutto, but it'll be the Eagles who go to the three-quarter time huddle with all of them.
Oh, Howe! Just getting that clock and just turning it back a little notch or 2 for Pendles. He can still leap. Thumps it into the pocket. And off hands.
They've been eyeing this one up since the opening quarter. He had a few free runs at it. The best there's been.
2 sets of hands on it. He's just too strong.
Had an argument, Bailey, didn't he?
Yeah, man in front.
He had a good piece of it, Bailey.
20 seconds left in the third. How vital a score for either team. Quainer, his intention's clear. Hayes buzzing around McCarthy. Is there time for the Eagles? Through the middle, 6 seconds. They had to be perfect. Side bottom put a stop to that. Oh, the desire is still there, isn't it? Oh, the West Coast Eagles. They looked just about done and dusted when they were 5 goals down. They found a second wind, and they are making Collingwood work to try and get the celebration thereafter for their superstar, for their champion. On Scott Pendlebury's big day. It's the Pies by 11 points. This game is far from over.
All right, folks, there we go. Tell you what a quarter, what a third quarter. Talk about up and down. But the Pies extend their halftime lead from 10 points to 11 points. West Coast Eagles kicking 4 goals, 2 in that third term. The Magpies kicking 4 goals, 3. I tell you what, it was, it was like 2 quarters in one there where the Magpies came out running, absolutely dominating. It looked like they were going to put the Eagles to sleep. But the Eagles, they hung on, they rode the wave, and they fought back strongly. I tell you what, they looked dangerous going inside their forward 50 every time. In the second half of that third quarter, the Eagles, tell you what, I think it was a good time. The 3-quarter time siren went, give the players a little bit of a rest. That's right on cue, did the siren go. And the Magpies can reset and get ready to come out bouncing in this final quarter. Can the Magpies hang on? That's the question. 80+ thousand fans are wondering out at the MCG. Can they hang on for Pendle's record-breaking, history-making game 4-3-3? Or can the Eagles cause an upset in Harley Reid's 50 game for the West Coast Eagles? I'll tell you what, we're in for a ring-a-ding cracking final term, folks, and it all gets underway in just over 3 minutes' time. Hang around while we just quickly bob on over and have a look at the goal scorers up until 3-quarter time. Jamie Elliott kicked in that absolutely incredible goal from the boundary. He's kicked 3 goals, 1 there for the Magpies. Nick Dacos, 2 goals, 2. Rowan still has got 1 with Lockie Schultz. Daniel McStay. Lipinski's got 1. Ed Allen also a single for the Magpies. For the West Coast Eagles, however, 2 multiple goal scorers. Elliott and Champion. He's got 2 goals apiece for those boys. And of course, Bailey Williams, Jake Waterman's got 1. Murdoch also has a single with Harvey Johnston and Brad Hoff. They're your goal scorers so far up until 3-quarter time in this record-breaking game. Just looking at the ball magnets out there at the moment. Of course, Nick Dacos topping the table. He is a clear leader with 30 disposals, the only one in the 30, and leading by 7 out there. 30 disposals for Nick Dacos, the champion. 19 kicks, 11 handballs, 5 marks, 6 clearances, 2 goals, 2 he's kicked. He can't do much more. Maybe just kick a little bit straighter, and he would have had 4 goals. That's probably about it. There we go. The best for the West Coast and second on the disposal count is Tom McCarthy, 23 disposals for him. 12 kicks, 11 handballs, 6 marks, a tackle and a clearance. There we go. The next 3 all Magpies. Jack Crisp on 22, Jordan Nagoe 21, Darcy Cameron having a cracking game there for the Magpies. 20 disposals, 10 and 10, 4 marks, 3 tackles, 21 hit-outs, 6 clearances, going really well. The opposing ruckman there for West Coast, Bailey Williams there. He's having a good game also. 16 touches, 10 kicks, 6 handballs, 3 marks a tackle, 9 clearances, 21 hit-outs. Wow, he's going pretty well. All right, we're going to be back in just a moment. Scotty Pendlebury, come on. We want to see you get a goal in your milestone game. All record-breaking game. 13 disposals for the champ, Scotty Pendlebury. 4 kicks, 9 handballs, just the 1 tackle, 4 clearances. Be great to see him get on the board, kicking a major as we hold on down to Harley Reid now, the 50 gamer for West Coast. 12 disposals for Harley. West Coast looking for a good term out of him. He's had 6 kicks, 6 handballs, 4 tackles, 3 clearances. There we go. Jeremy Howell took a ring-a-ding-ding mark. I tell you what, the Magpies certainly did miss Darcy Moore in that third term, especially the latter half of that third quarter with the West Coast Eagles pressing. He is sadly missed out there at the moment, but, you've got to get the job done. There are your player stats at the moment up until 3-quarter time. Let me just zip this back up, put this back over here, and let's head back down to the commentators, and they'll run us in to the final term of this record-breaking game, where it's the Magpies by 11 points.
They were absolutely out of it, 29 points down. Jamie Elliott just kicked the goal, but they fought their way back into it. And last week, that's all they've got to look back to. Last week, they were able to run over the top of the Giants at home, and it was built around their pressure and Harley Reid. So 2-3-2 was the number in the last quarter against the Giants last week, and that meant their Harley Reid, well, he stood up and absolutely dominated the last quarter. Can they do it again in front of 95,000 screaming Collingwood fans?
What would Mini be saying right now? You know him well from Richmond days.
He'd be saying, why not us? Why not us on the biggest occasion? Why can't we be the ones to spoil the party?
But the fairy tale is, Kingy, a Collingwood win for Pendlebury.
Get back to it, Kath. It's not about the Eagles. It's about that man there, and they will go out of their way to ensure that he puts the cherry on top, and they find the great man a goal, and they allow the 90,000 strong Collingwood faithful to go cocoa bananas in the last quarter. I hope it happens. I hope Collingwood put the full stop on this game. This is a day we'll never forget.
A full house at the MCG as we hand it back to our commentary team for the final quarter. Just 11 points, the margin.
I love that call from Jack Revolt. Why not us? Why do West Coast have to play by the script here, guys?
Yeah, no, you don't get things given to you, and I get a feeling this West Coast Eagles, as we said right off the top, the message was we want the Harlem Globetrotters. We're not here just providing a support cast.
I think they don't want to be the Washington Generals, guys.
Yes.
They're quite happy to be the Harlem Globetrotters.
Okay, Washington Generals then.
Last quarter of game, 4:33, and it starts with Elliott Yo sending it deep right into the Eagles' goal mouth.
But it's on the back of Murdoch and Josh Lindsay, and Williams has been great all day, so there's some excitement around this Eagles camp at the minute.
Oh, Williams almost had to grab and go. Yo gets another chance. Rushed it on the boot. What a difference he makes to this Eagles lineup.
He gives them some steel through the middle and some support to that man Harley Reid. There's the Scotty Pendlebury just acknowledging a moment here. Good decision. This is going to end up in good hands, one would think.
Coming up for disposal 14 for the record breaker. Forced to kick long to a contest towards McStay. Good grab. Stood up there, D. McStay. Nothing presents, so he also goes down the line. McCreary didn't really want to go on the mark contest. Threw a hand up. Might sneak out the back. Long. He's got the option inboard. He's not able to keep the ball in the field of play.
What's the message here from a Collingwood point of view? They need to go, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They need to put their foot down. Up the pressure again. Their pressure's been good at different stages when they've gained ascendancy in the game, but if they up the pressure, everything else flows from it.
Martin sits at 10. Cameron, a territory taker. Jimby stalking with Young. Difficult for Elliott. And Long, and McCarthy's stuck under all that.
Nick Dacos is always the one we look at in times when there's a result that's up for grabs. Willem Dursworth's got him at this stoppage.
This is where they love to get the ball, Collingwood. Lock it in, forward 50 pressure.
Lefty work from Cameron, blind handball from Crisp. You can see the result of that. Backed out of there by Davis. Which way will the ball bounce? It bounces the Collingwood way, and it'll be lassoed up.
Yeah, drop punt would have been a much better option. He went for the standing torpedo off the side of the boot. Lasso free kick.
Locked up forward line ahead for Howe. Took a big hanger in the third. In from the side. McCarthy wasn't able to control it. Elliott's been dangerous. Josh Dacos goes back to Jamie Elliott. Now to Steele. Sends it high. Sends it home. Calms the nerves. Does Rome Steele with a second.
That's a good finish. That's a very good finish. They are so good once they get the ball inside 50, the Pies are keeping it there. At making contest after contest. They don't allow easy exits. They had the chance to exit the Eagles, but it was a mongrel dump kick that became a lasso. Just gets that good hand pass out. Dacos off the floor.
Did that hit the ground before he hit that ball by hand from Josh Dacos?
Felt like it, didn't it?
It looked like it hit the ground. That's dropping the ball there.
A throw.
That's a throw. So they've got away with one there, the Magpies. That should have been played against Josh Dacos. Great finish. Take nothing away from the finish. But that ball hit the ground, no question about it. So just one missed. Take your chances when you can.
And the young man is, isn't he, Ryan Steele? Up goes Williams again. Solo out of the middle. Pendlebury is at centre half forward. Lost the shorts in all of that. Dacos found a way onto the ball. Rapid fire kick forward, well contained by McCarthy.
Played well off half-back. He's coming up for his 24th touch. He came into the game as a big ball-winning midfielder, and he's been pretty safe in the back half.
Short to Davis. Wow. He's in the quandary, but he does decide to go long. Jack Williams, it was a bit of a marking bag potentially for Howe. Murdoch, the swing and the miss. Commitment from Yo as always. Squirts out unexpectedly. Reed got through, and he wouldn't. Just gets himself down with a handball low to Dacos. Then he has to redouble his efforts. Cleared a path for Davis. They'll have a second crack, and again, Collingwood deploying their defenders to the right place.
Pendlebury's just positioning himself. He's at full back right now, but he started the quarter at half back. Murdoch went to him.
Clearing ball towards the wing. Long comes from the back of the pack. Spills to Reed. There's a whistle.
So Josh Dacos has gone into the middle of the ground at the moment, and Scott Pendlebury has assumed the half-back role.
Houston in his 200th. Elliott's trying to get early contact. It opens up for Jimmy to come across and cut it off.
There's danger in all of that, but Baker gets him out of trouble. Jimmy will go again, receiving from McCarthy. Cross half back. Width from Allen. And then to Marrick. So a fair bit of this today for the Eagles. Across half back. Not the time for a blatant mistake like that. Had the back up. The Wolves are about to close on Bazzo. He did well. Spotted Marrick. That was his insurance. And just the Eagles creep. Johnston takes the mark from the Allen kick. And then back again. And finds Marrick.
They won't go away, the Eagles. Finds Kelly, former Cat. Elliott stands the mark. Squirts it out wide to Young. Back in board by hand. Stinging through McCarthy. McCreary. Brilliant tackle that was, because he came at pace, Gary.
Great tackle. Had to hold on, didn't he? Bo McCreary, they were probing and probing and probing. If he got past them, they were out.
Hard running from Elliott to give him an obvious way forward. They start to spread the pies. The Eagles busting a gut to try and get back. Dacos decides not to go yet. Josh Ponders just pulled the kick a fraction. The invitation was there for long. Clever.
Just a little bit too physical for them. The Pies 68-34 the tackles. That tells a big story.
17-1 inside 50.
Yeah.
That is a big story there. About their mindset. This is smart from Josh Dacos. So we know that Long's really capable up in the air in a one-on-one. And Tim Kelly didn't want to be there in that defensive 50.
3 goals, 7 for the season. This is a big kick. Floats across the face. They're outnumbered down there. Lipinski didn't really have an opportunity at all. The Eagles get it through safely.
McCarthy up for his 25th disposal. There's a little bit desired. Bazzo's able to fumble it and retake control. Taylor does well coming in from the side. Really well not to infringe. The Eagles by 2 at quarter time. Collingwood by 10 at half time. They got out 29 points with 6 of 7 goals. And the Eagles kicked the last 3 of the term. Collingwood led by 11 at the 3-quarter time break, and we kicked the only goal of the quarter.
They push again. West gets across. He sees it out.
Hutto, we're just checking on Nick Dacos. He's just come off limping. He's just gone downstairs, so we're just keeping an eye on him.
Okay, they've already lost their captain. And now their vice-captain is the concern. They lead by 17 points. What a side over the MCG. An experience for these young Eagles. Davis to Reed. It wasn't pure contact, but he knew the vicinity he wanted to get it into. Champion tried to link up with the hands. Good work, Houston, but he goes again. Murdoch's got a step. He had to find his left boot. He decided to ease the squeeze. A little handball to Baker. And Champion kept on running, and he's got options. Can he get it in deep enough? Pulled the kick somewhere near Yo. Quainer was ready. And the Pies repel. Side bottom to Frampton.
Slight fumble, gets away with it. DeGoey had a little bit more time than he realised. Kicked it straight to Jack Williams.
Yeah, so Champion he was crying out for someone to come up at him, and no one did. So
the 2 blokes he kicked it to had their back to him. Yeah. They weren't tracking the football.
So this is their big push here. Magpies holding up okay in the back half.
Only goal of the term was Steele's second. Hung in all day, the Eagles. They looked out on their feet in the third when they gave up 6 or 7, but kicked the last 3.
So they have been prepared to do this all day. Go really wide, make the ground big, try and find a hole on the way around the other side.
Jinby, very precise with the kick and it needed to be. Now Duggan takes a bounce. Winds a wobbling ball forward. Cameron in good position. He's done that well today, Darcy. Cameron. It's been a great contest between the rucks.
Been critical of Liam Duggan a couple of times today. An experienced player, a captain of the club. He's got to be better with his kicks inside 50.
17.
He's the sore boy, as you can see.
17, that's why the game has stopped. This is well, should they stop the clock for a sore shoulder?
Shoulder. Popped it out.
Play on.
So over to Josh Dacos. Still plenty of time for the Eagles to close this gap. He's still coming off the ground. Schultz got there to make the contest. I'm sure he actually touched the ball. He took out the Eagles player Cole in front of him and it gets over the line and out of bounds.
The ridiculous part of all that is they stopped the game while the ball was 115 metres away.
And then he got taken out by it.
And restarted it while he nearly got hit on the head with a footy.
Game still on the line. Jack Williams. Off. Heard Reid. Really nice. To Dersma with a piercing ball forward to a dangerous area. Collingwood set up well at ground level. Pendlebury. A bit of pressure there. Oh, Chris ran into an Eagle and just bounced straight off him. Comes back to Reid. He took his eyes off the footy. They don't argue, and he got an argument too. But it's a high. Big call, big call.
And he's lucky he fumbled the footy to ground then.
Reid. To Davis.
Hello.
Who's got an idea about sending it right to the square. The big bad Billy took care of business.
Thanks, Matt Grice. So good news.
That is great news, Moons. This is... He jumped up pretty quick, didn't he?
What's the kicker? To half-back. McCarthy, one of the host of flyers. Bazzo and Jack Williams sorted out. McCarthy on the turn. Feeding it wide again to Bazzo. Another entry. Most have been denied airily today. Opportunity for Cole. And what a chance it is. Brings it into Johnston. Oh, into the post. Gee, they've missed a couple here. It could have made a world of difference.
It's Paddy Lipinski's late lunge that just put him slightly off, and he missed from 15 or 10 metres out. They've had chances.
They have had chances, exactly.
8 inside 50s to 5 for the fourth quarter.
Pendlebury's done a lot of kicking in today. Sends it deep down the line. Nicely done by Jack Williams. Just flicked the bum and sent Cameron flying, which is not an easy thing to do. Another entry inside 50. They are coming, the Eagles. Houston, dangerous ground ball. Schultz. Umpire saw it, couldn't miss it.
So the Pies are struggling to get out of their back half right now. They can set up really well down the line.
It's hard on the kick. Cameron got back somehow. Good timing from Bazzo with the spoil. I think their way out of it again. Disrupted play. Cameron, Jinby, Josh Dacos in his face. He turned to the middle where there's two Eagles to sort things out. Duggan back to Lindsay. And again, they're going to work their way around the corridor. A few of those faulty kicks across half-back today. Haven't played a big penalty, but it does slow the progress. But the chains continue.
Whether it's time to put Harley Reid to the goal square or Willem Dersma, one of their superstars, to try and change it up.
Almost got themselves into a bind. They did. Chris hang on for dear life. They forced the turnover. Side bottom to the inside. Maynard. Pendlebury going past with instructions. Now he's got the ball, but Reid had him. And it's there for the Eagles if they want it, and they do want it. Knock forward Dersma to Kelly. Murdoch to the inside. Shanahan. Oh, an extra handball. Trouble for Williams. Got out of it. There's two waiting in the square. Waterman, it's a procession. Yo! Up into the stands. He's kicked his third. Are they in the fight? Yo! Yes, they are.
Gee, that's great. They are showing incredible resilience, West Coast. They will not give up. I've never seen a team work harder to kick a goal. They made an absolute hash of this 4 times. Just needed some clean hands, think your way through it. Too many high, floaty hand passes that put the next person under pressure. He was big enough, Williams. I don't know what that was. He went for the banana, somehow it got through, and then they had a couple running into the square. They eventually got the goal.
Well, they deserved it, really. They've dominated early in the quarter. Milan Murdoch, though, found one player there. Yo kicks the goal in the end. He makes good decisions, Murdoch. He could have been excused for blazing away at one stage, but he came inside with a handball. They kept the footy in their half. They didn't allow the Collingwood Footy Club to exit the back half of the ground. And now they've got it back to 9 points.
Kick 4 of the last 5, and 90,000 Collingwood fans are very, very nervous. Nick versus Harley. Harley wins out. Slides only sparks a good mark by Sidebottom. Had to be clean.
Sidebottom and Pendlebury positioned at half back right now.
To kick rather than hand pass there, Reid. Now to Goey.
No, I agree with you, Howie. There was a hand pass option. They get the takeaway from the stoppage, but he went the one-step barrel kick and it didn't work.
So they're dominating clearance, though. They're plus 10 clearance for the game, the Eagles.
Just hanging in now, Collingwood, after leading by 29 points. And the mark is paid for the big blonde, Ginby.
10-5, the inside 50s in favour of West Coast in this quarter.
Yeah, they're defending right now. The West Coast Eagles have got a head of steam up here.
And 7-2 the clearances.
They've loved going around the long way. Gone back a long way too.
Elliott for a moment. I thought there was a chance. Duggan, they're using every inch, every blade of grass on this MCG. What an occasion for the Eagles. Again, they've given the Pies a look, but held on to the footy. McCarthy.
Been good, McCarthy.
He has. Marix can be so blasé with his kicking, so relaxed.
Into Dursma, who looks like he belongs here.
Williams down the line's his best bet.
That's where he heads. Shanahan. Cole. Kelly versus DeGoey. Well played by the Collingwood number 2. Sidebottom showed enough to the umpire to not be pinned.
He had one intent in mind. That's the quickest he's run for a while. Still Sidebottom. He was making sure he was getting over the sideline.
This is where they have had superiority at a stoppage. Get on the move.
Can they pinch another one? Bring it down to a 1-goal game. Nick Dacos, couple hanging off him. Got boot to ball. Ginby is really lifted in the second half. Nice little step, back by hand. They won't be denied, the Eagles. Another high ball forward. Frampton will be under pressure, and the mark is taken by Waterman. Here they go again.
Shanahan's got to get deep now. He's lurking around the pocket. Get deep. This ball's coming in. Make it yours. Got Howe's an opponent.
Towards the tall timber. Howe will be dangerous, but coming in from the side is the man you're talking about, Gary.
Yeah, this is a talented kid that just hasn't had his day right now, and he for a moment he thought about stopping in the pocket and hitting up at a short lead, but no. In the dying moments of a big game in front of 90,000, you work your way back and take your man back deep, and he's got the hands to clunk a big mark here and bring this back to a 3-point game.
10 goals for the season for Jobe Shanahan. Picked 30 back in 2024. His moment on a massive stage to quieten the MCG, to frighten the Pies. He does just that. 3-point game. 7:20 on the clock.
It's a big contested mark. I was keeping my eye on Bailey Williams because he'd worked hard to get back down there to provide the target. He came from one side, and it was Shanahan that came from the other side. This is a big man. That's a great contested mark too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a big one early on Frampton, who's been defending well. But then you'll see him in the pocket with Jeremy Howe here, and this is what he should tell himself for these next 4, 5, 6 minutes, whatever long it is. Go for everything, young man, because they are a great set of hands. So the fairy tale is just in danger. 22 contested marks. He's a talent, this kid. Jeremy Howe's had his measure today, but he can pop up. This is a big moment. Nick Dacos, Josh Dacos in the middle, Jack Crisp.
Pendlebury's in defence.
The champs at half-back along with Sidebottom.
Williams won the tap. Critical clearance. Looked like it was going to go the Eagles' way. Crisp and Hoff, they continue the tussle and the fight and the scrap.
I like the effort by Hoff. He made the error with the hand pass, but then he mopped it up. He was desperate to get that ball back.
They got a lift here. They got a lift for the big fella here. He's on champion at half-back.
Good strides from Allen. Gets it deep. Elliott's looked as likely as anyone today. That slides over and out.
Not the big fella. The
He's
man who's having
there.
a big moment. Now he's probably going off to work out with the coach what they've got to do from here on in, because they're under siege in the last quarter.
Big day. It would be emotionally exhausting for him, you would think, as well. And come back up short for the end. McStay. The crowd wait and watch and rise.
He hasn't been beaten too often today, Bailey Williams, but that then was a fantastic effort from Dan McStay. He took his opportunity, used his strong body, had good position. He just held Williams out, took the ball, and then the quick snap. Great goal sense.
That's a great goal, Jace. This is a massive play. They're under siege. So all of a sudden they're looking at a 3-point margin and the chance that it might not be going the way they want it to go. And the ball goes down to forward 50 and you get a goal from a stoppage, from a ruckman grabbing it out of the air and a stoppage and kicking a goal. That's massive from Dan McStay. Gives them a bit of breathing space. The conductor goes to get the plague list to hit of what's going to happen in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Big clearance coming up. Kelly to Reed. Streaks away to the young champion, game 50. Spreads it out wide to Cole. They've fought back time and time again when they've looked out today, the Eagles. Sends it to 20 from home. Side bottoms behind. Falls to a dangerous area. Yo applies the tackle. No escape.
Harley Reid comes down. He's a danger.
Williams taps it. Waterman denied by Steele. Good hands at close quarters. The other Steele. Side bottom. Tumbles one. Davis there first. Champion. Baker. They've got through into the pocket. Johnston thought about it. Tossed it up. Shanahan.
Off the footy, it was Yo, wasn't it? It was trying to protect Shanahan by blocking Quainer.
That was a really clever kick back into the corridor. Another opportunity goes begging.
That wasn't, I take it back, wasn't Yo.
Quaynor long, handy fist on it. And looking to land the knockout blow. Collingwood to celebrate the champ. But they're not there yet. Alan Court stands up in the tackle. Released it by hand. Kelly. And Chris gets him.
Who had some big moments, Jack Chris. He's gone into the centre here while Pendlebury went back. He's had a couple of really big moments in this last 90 seconds.
Jack Chris comes for a break. He wants to get Pendles back out there.
Just feels like the experience of all the Collingwood players, a much more mature list and group, is just coming to the fore in these clutch moments late in the game.
So much has gone into today as a club and as a team. They simply have to win, Collingwood. As far as they're concerned, the Eagles, though, completely other ideals and goals today. Darcy Cameron, the West Australian, sends them deep. The crowd want a late mark. Elliott was there, but so was Baker. He will scrap for your life. Baker.
The last 5 minutes here, Pendlebury comes forward. He's around the ball. Kelly goes with him. A goal from Pendlebury would be the fairy tale right here.
He's got Kelly beside him. McStay, who kicked the last. Reed rages against the tackle.
So they've got to work hard, the Pies. Keep it in their front half. It's what got them their lead in the third quarter.
Hoff's on Nick Dacos. Big task. Lipinski. Pendlebury applies the tackle.
Amazingly, they left Pendlebury on his own there. I mean, they must know that they're looking to get the ball to him.
They set up well, Collingwood. Darcy Cameron, a kick behind play.
There's no one on him still.
Yeah, found it back with Josh Dacos, Lipinski. Elliott again had a teammate with open arms in the pocket. The Schultz went down. Dacos is going to finish it right here, right now. For you, Pendles, for the Pies. They just couldn't lose.
Well, in the end, if Pendlebury wasn't going to kick the ceiling, the next best thing is the man that separated the game in the first place, who's now had 14 score involvements, kicked 3 and had 33 touches. That's a fair afternoon for the champ. I said earlier he played at a different level all afternoon, and he's just put the icing on the cake right here. And Jamie Elliott just tried to hit up Schultz, I think it is here. And then the champ does what the champ does best.
But you need to watch where he came from there, guys. There were a lot of tired players there as that kick went forward, and he burst out of the pack and left 3 or 4 of them jogging and just ran onto it, received it, and then just left him in his wake. He's the superstar.
3 minutes ago, they were 3 points down, having seen the opposition kick 2 in a row. Now they can just breathe a bit easier.
Well, we know the Eagles will try and go again, but Pendlebury out of the middle. with the poise and the calm, and he set up another goal. Elliott took the mark, the crowd roared, and then all of a sudden the shot reverberated around the ground.
Grabbed the left knee straight away. He has landed badly on it. No, it's a tragedy. A few words being exchanged in there too.
Nick Dacos. Be in the protected area, guys. Be in the protected area.
Who was the closest?
I'm not sure what that was all about, to be perfectly honest, but our thoughts are with Jamie Elliott right now. That's all that matters.
Yep.
See here.
Just watch the landing.
Just buckles underneath there, Gaz.
Yeah, it's, well, I've never done one, but they are very familiar, all too familiar scenes. I don't know what this dust-up's all about. I missed this.
Someone has said something that's fired it all up.
I think a couple of the Collingwood boys might have had a go. I'm not sure who the West Coast player was. And obviously West Coast boys saying, well, it's just in a contest.
Yeah, there's nothing untoward.
Yeah, I think it was just young. And I think the West Coast boys say, hang on, it was just a contest, and all of a sudden it's just blown into this.
So Jimmy has been slap bang in the middle of it and is now getting some support from all and sundry because most Collingwood players have had a crack at him.
Brayton Maynard got dragged out of it all by a teammate. Guess who the teammate was? Jordan De Goey. Who normally you'd think he'd be in the thick of it. He said, no, we don't need this. Let's get you out of here.
So on a night where there are the biggest story, of course, is Scott Pendlebury, there's some other ones that are going to demand attention, and that is the Darcy Moore injury. So if you're just joining us late, the Collingwood skipper he played a really good first half and went into the ruck just before half time, and a short boundary throw in had him scrambling, and he came off with a hamstring and hasn't come back on. And now we've got Jamie Elliott with what looks to be a really serious knee injury. So they may have secured a game-winning lead at 15 points with 4.5 minutes on the clock, but this wasn't the way that they were hoping this game would end.
And Pendlebury has taken over, hasn't he, in the huddle?
Well, that's right. So
9 years as the captain, still a natural leader.
Yep. So Moore, the captain's off. Nick Dacos was off for a period of time as well. But anyway, this, as we said, this is where our thoughts sit right now. Jamie Elliott, who
Tyler Young is the Eagle.
He did nothing wrong, Tyler Young.
No,
he was there to compete. Does he say something?
They couldn't be remonstrating with him.
Pendlebury was the one that came in and had an issue, and then they all started pointing. I didn't see anything that Tyler Young did there that was inappropriate.
No, I didn't.
Unless he said something. I thought he was showing concern.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm not out there. Look at all the love for Jamie Elliott. He's 33 years of age. Played his best footy, his best season last year. Hasn't quite got going, but today his goals were pivotal when they were really needed, when Collingwood was struggling in the first half.
Kick 3, Hutto. He's had 9 score involvements, which behind Nick Dacos is the best of any player on the ground. So he's had a really good start proceedings. It's really sad to see here. We hope for the best, of course. I fear for the worst when you see a player grab the knee in the manner that he did. Lockie Schultz will be the player having a shot. They got to within 3 points. McStay kicks a goal after he grabs it out of the ruck, and then Nick Dacos weaves some magic to open it back up to 15 points. And it was supposed to be 4.5 minutes of pure joy and celebration for the Pies right now, and it's just being tarnished a little bit.
Missed so much footy too, didn't he? In what would have been the prime of his career in his early and mid-20s. Got back and played some brilliant football. Saw his 200th game up at the Gabba. 229 games, his 230th today. A lot of love for Jamie Elliott. He's been clutched so often for Collingwood in big moments. Part of Craig McRae, what he's created here at the Magpies. Has come from behind wins. The heartbreak he caused to the opposition so often.
A bit of plotting going on right now as Jamie Elliott goes down the race. Pendlebury went to Josh Dacos, then went to Nick Dacos. So there's a little bit going on here. Don't just assume that Lockie Schultz is going to have a ping.
So Lockie Schultz has had a lot of time to think about this. It's a 15-point margin as it stands. As we watch Lockie Schultz, the man targeted by the Pies, to add forward pressure the coach has called in their barometer. This is a moment, though. Cameras out and poised all around the MCG to make sure of it. With a heavy heart, but not quite a straight boot. It goes across the face, and the Eagles are still notionally at least alive.
Well, there's time on the clock. 3 goals, 4 minutes left.
McCarthy takes off. Keeps the kick low. Went for Reed. Clear to everyone. Side bottom, swooping. Lipinski. Pendlebury called for it. Still might get it. Maynard. Dumbstruck. And they forced the turnover. Reed came galloping through. And again, the handballs are linked up. Dursman's kick. Well identified by Shanahan.
It's just a great kick from Dursma. He
told him where to go.
Shanahan come to the footy. Shanahan's heading back to goal. Dursma said, no, I'll kick it here and you make your way to the ball. It's a brilliant kick from Willem Dursma.
So can he go back and kick truly again? Hasn't had a big impact on the day until this last quarter. This has been the narrative all day. We just have not been able to ride off these West Coast Eagles, and they're still not done.
Still a nice, efficient kicking style when he's lining up the goals. Joe Shanahan got good confidence. Doesn't take too long. Just goes back, kicks straight through the ball. A couple of clutch goals in this 4th term, and they desperately needed them.
Chase, let's talk about centre bounce, because that's what I'm talking down to right now. 4th quarter, 5 centre bounces, then, or throw-ups rather than centre bounces. And it's 4-1 West Coast Eagles out of the middle. They're going to be all or nothing at this next one. So they're going to go, and they're going to go aggressively right now at this next baller. Williams goes in.
Pendlebury in for Collingwood for the centre baller.
There's the crowd figure, Hutto.
And they're all still here. Oh, for a thrilling, unexpectedly tight finish. Eagles 4-1 the centre clearances this quarter. You can make it 5-1.
Williams free kick here in the middle.
Yeah, that contest has been pivotal all day.
Has allowed Cameron to get down in the hole though.
He just rolls and goes with it. There is Cameron. Shanahan did what he had to do. Howe, it's still alive. Baker, Lipinski.
Geez, unlucky. He ran into a teammate.
Well, the umpire, where Baker's back was to pay the free kick, the umpire that was front on didn't pay. Big tackle from Paddy Lipinski.
Yeah, they've got a man up now. You can't allow uncontested marks. Got to make him kick to a contest.
Kicks out to that contest. And half forward, Timby, a big presence to go. He tried to muscle his way through. He couldn't. Pies led by as much as 29 points in the 3rd quarter. There was Baker running into the issues he had. Cameron got to it. Crisp just hoping with the hands. Schiltz couldn't quite get through. West's turn to cop it. Precious seconds tick away. The pain of football all too evident in the rooms with Jamie Elliott. Collingwood lead by 10 points. They are hanging on. Dursma tumbles. Schiltz takes the meterage, and there's plenty of it on that kick.
It's just about the perfect kick. From the Collingwood perspective, that is the perfect kick.
Oh, it's got over the 50-metre line, so it's not a...
Absolutely perfect.
It could have been deemed insufficient intent.
It could have been, but normally when the kicks go inside 50, they don't ping them for that.
Pies are down to only 2 interchange. There's only 2 minutes to go. Still they're nervous. Still it's not quite done yet.
No, they're going to defend, obviously, for their life here. Jamie Howe sits as the last man. They've got to get past if they want to go the whole way, the West Coast Eagles. He's on his own.
Grabbed by Williams. Heaves it out to the wing. The desperate lunge of Darcy Cameron. Limps back, but he has the Sharon tucked to his chest. And he wanted to play it back. Pendlebury knew exactly what to do. He might have the basketball background, but he's got the football brain, Scott Pendlebury. Gets them organised, as he has for so many years. Now the challenge is on the West Coast Eagles to force a Collingwood error.
So this is Darcy Cameron down the line here. Long and slow, out of bounds to be a good result.
Maynard Jindy at the back. Yo. Hoff. Jindy again. McCarthy looking desperately, hoping more than anything. Howe going to be challenged by Cole. He's there with a chance. Oh, and that goes in a moment. Pendlebury, critical touch. Still the job is not done after the Quainer fumble. Maynard to relative safety. It's play on. They don't realise it. He realises it now. We're down to 50 seconds. Quainer, high ball to the wing. Desperate lunge. Juggling act from Cameron. Schiltz again. The path is clear. McCreary. Oh, what a tackle from Duggan. Takes off. It's all go. It has to be for the Eagles. They're going to fight this all the way to the end. What an effort they have put in today, this West Coast Eagles team.
They haven't had 1 second to stop and celebrate this, Collingwood, and West Coast haven't allowed them to. So the best victories are ones that you have to earn, and they've had to earn this afternoon.
What an education for the Eagles. 90,000 people have filled the MCG for one man. Not all parties go exactly as planned. Triumph for Scott Pendlebury. Good old Pendlebury forever. Gary, I love it. 10 points.
It's gone, in the end, it's gone according to plan. The win was the most important thing of all because the Uber celebration then becomes a bit awkward. But the win becomes even more significant because of the competition provided by the opposition today.
Gee, it could have been tighter. With a minute to go, they go forward, a better hand pass, and they run into an open goal. It becomes a one-kick game, but they steadied. They did what they needed to do, the Pies. And they'll celebrate an incredibly auspicious occasion the right way tonight now, although it has been soured by that unfortunate injury to James Elliott.
That's footy, isn't it?
So when they go back and look at this game, though, in time, in history, the really great thing is that there was a genuine contest. That we came into the game hoping that the West Coast could continue to form and provide the sort of opposition that Scott Pendlebury, deep down would want, and that's what they got. They got a genuine competition from a really brave side who are trying to establish themselves, played in front of 90,028 people, and in the end the Magpies did enough to win, and now it's cue the celebrations wherever they take us, although...
Yeah, we thought the champagne might have been going flat there for a while, guys. Scott Pendlebury. I think it was Raylene Boyle that came in on the back of Bruce in the Olympics and water relief, and I'm sure it is for Scott Pendlebury, water relief. How?
Scotty. Whoa. The entire stadium can hear us. Do you know what the margin was? 10 points, mate. Had to be, didn't it?
4 + 3 + 3. 10.
Tell us about the game firstly. Loved you and Harley at the start. The old bull and the young bull just going head and head together. We'll head down this way to talk to us, mate.
I wasn't really going head to head. He put me on my arse straight away, so I had to get him back over on the boundary. But he's a great young player, and as I said, we knew these guys were going to be a tough out, and I respect their pressure and how they've gone about it. And really proud of our boys though. We had to dig in and fight, and this crowd though was just something else. So thanks so much everybody for coming out.
Over 93, mate. You got your son and your daughter here with you. Tell us about the week, the messages you've got, what it's meant to you.
Oh, it's been a phenomenal week. I reckon I've probably got 1,000 messages and I've tried to reply to all of them. Sorry if I just liked it. I just didn't have the energy and the thumbs anymore to get back to everyone. But this crowd was amazing. The Collingwood Army, there's nothing like it. And it was unbelievable. So thanks so much again for turning out and coming out and making this day so special.
You've got different boots on now. I don't know how many boots you've had, but you've got Jack's here and your daughter here with you to be able to celebrate with Alex and the family. It's a long time ago since Hutto called that first goal and basketball background, so now you're here past Boomer Harvey.
Yeah, it's weird. It feels like it's been an eternity, but it's gone quick at the same time. And I thought I was playing basketball at one stage there when I threw the ball out of the pack, but the umpires are on me, so they should have let that one slip. But no, it's been a hell of a ride, and there's still more in the tank, though.
Well, we'll continue down this way. It's an extraordinary scene. Before I ask you about the crowd, the week itself, have you just taken your usual approach to push it all aside? Like, how many requests have you had for your time?
There's been a lot of requests for my time, and but credit to the footy club. They really looked after me. They knew what I like to do, and they allowed me to have a normal-ish week. As I said to you earlier, I've never been clapped walking out of a supermarket before, so that's a different experience. And we've tried to embrace the week, and I reckon towards the last bit there, I could feel the week catching up. I was out of legs and I was pretty cooked at stages, but just so pumped for the boys as well to get this win in front of, what was 93,000 fans, which is unbelievable.
Two more for you, and then we'll let you go. You're not an emotional man. You're typically pretty reserved, but has there been a moment in the week or the last month with your family or someone that's got in touch where you've gained an understanding of what you're achieving today?
Oh, there's been so many people that have put it into perspective for me, and I nearly got a bit emotional running up the race, just seeing every face that I've crossed paths with since 2006 to today, and just all the faces that you see when you run up, and my kids and my family was it's really special for me.
We'll walk right over here because these are the people that have so much love for you. So it's a bizarre scene. You're facing the Collingwood Army. What would you like to say to these people that have followed you for 21 years of an extraordinary record-breaking career?
I think when you get drafted, every kid wants to experience the ultimate experience. And getting drafted to Collingwood, I feel like I've experienced the ultimate. I get to play on this ground like it's the Sale Footy Club every week in front of what is 93,000 that are absolutely nuts. So I just love it.
Mate, congratulations. We've got a pen for you. There you go, mate. The record breaker, Scott Pendlebury, in front of the Pie Army.
He has left his signature on this ground many times. 273 games at the G, more than any other player. He's just about done everything more than any other player. Great interview from Mark Howard, doing what he does best, and close relationship with this man, Scott Pendlebury. Admitting there, we kind of saw it a bit, I think, in the second half, but it had been a big week, and he was tiring as the game, which is to be expected.
Yeah, he's played 433, he's played bigger games, he had bigger contributions than he had today, but he had key moments throughout it all. But how could it not affect you? How could that not get to you at some stage? It's been as big a build-up as we've seen for a long, long time for any one man, so much so that the whole club's run out in gold-coloured jumpers because that was a talking point at some stage. I won't forget the 10-minute mark of the first quarter for a long time. We've all three of us have been and watched and played a lot of footy over a long period of time. I don't think I've seen anything quite like that 10-minute mark when the 90,000 people in the stadium held up the SP 433s. That'll be a memory that stays with us.
Was this extraordinary?
Correct.
I know they micromanaged so much. What they couldn't micromanage was the result of the game. And I don't think we're anticipating the tension that would have been there.
Pulling out a couple of the other veterans would be cheering him off, but they did have basically 100% of the crowd here. It was all Collingwood.
Extraordinary scenes, the volume up to max. Still side bottom to Jeremy Howe. Have the honour, the fireworks, all part of the show. A reluctant hero at times, Andrew McGoldrick, who the 6 coaches that played against Scott Pendlebury. And he leads them off the MCG. Collingwood's Mr. Pendlebury. After he breaks the record and leads the Pies to their 5th win of the season.
And the song will be a great relief, I think, as much as anything else. You get in there and it has been about one man, and understandably so, and we do know that he has got team first mentality, and there's no question about that. All the stuff that we've read and heard he is a team-first man. So they've secured the victory. I think they'll go in, they'll belt this song out, and I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a deep breath and just he's thankful that it's over, James.
I suspect he'll spend the night with family, and it will be a very good night's sleep when he puts his head on the pillow tonight after what must have been a tumultuous few weeks and an incredible build-up this week.
Do you know what? If the game that we love and played and commentate and continue to go along and immerse ourselves in, you want someone to represent your code as the number one man, as the number one player who's played the most games, and we can't have want for much more than that bloke right there in terms of the way he represents himself, his club, his family. He's a fantastic ambassador for AFL footy.
It's great to see Jamie Elliott there. He's got the crutches, but he's going to be involved in the song, and he's right alongside Scotty Pendlebury.
This is going on the big screen as well, so many of the 90,000 fans are going to belt it out with their champion, Scott Pendlebury. They had to fight all the way, the West Coast Eagles. They were so good, this young Eagles team. We had up the numbers earlier. 15 of the games combined still didn't reach Pendlebury's 433. In the end, the Pies have won by 10 points, the perfect margin. So it's over. The Pies get the job done. Finally, for Scott Pendlebury and their fans. Their last win came on Anzac Day, and again the MCG was absolutely packed. What a day it's been for Pendles and for the Pies. So much more to come from the rooms. Mark Howard will lead our coverage. We'll hear again from Scott, but so many others as well as they reflect on this huge day. There's some pain with it as well with Jamie Elliott. We'll have the latest on all of that. But the Pies get home for their number 10 by 10 points.
All right, there we go, folks. How was that? Paul Music Cats, King Elvis, everyone in the house. Beyond, how you doing? Welcome in. I tell you what, Catherine, a ring-a-ding-ding. They done it for Pendles. They did it for Pendles. It was the Magpies victorious today. 13-14-92, 12-10-82, the West Coast Eagles. I tell you what, they gave it a shake, the West Coast Eagles. They kicked 3 goals, 3 in that final term, the Eagles. The Magpies, 3 goals, 2, but they got the job done by 10 points. Of course, we all know Pendle's number is 10. 433 games, 4 plus 3 plus 3 is 10. It was all worked out. Fate happened, and it happened the way it should have been. It was number 10s all the way around today. Oh, what a nail-biting game. I tell you what, that was anyone's game going down to the end. It was an absolute disaster to see Jamie Elliott go down with 5 minutes to go, but good to see him on. As I said, he was on crutches in the circle with Darcy Moore singing the theme song. Absolutely magnificent win by the Pies today, and geez, didn't they need that? Hey, before we head back there, we might head back in case they get Pendles for a little interview. Let's just quickly check the goal scorers for the day. Let's start off with West Coast. Elliott, did well for the West Coast. 3 goals. Shanahan got 2. Champion got 2. Singles to Williams, Waterman, Murdoch, Johnson, Hoff. For the Magpies, Jamie Elliott kicked 3 with Nick Dacos. Rowan still kicked 2. Daniel McStay also kicked 2. Lockie Schultz with 1. With Pat Lipinski, Edward Allen. There we go. Disposal magnets out on the ground. Of course, Nick Dacos probably just about best on ground, I think, out there today. 34 touches, 22 kicks, 12 handballs, 5 marks, 7 clearances, 3 goals, 2, and he was probably involved in about 15 score. So there you go. He had a cracking game. Tom McCarthy, also a good game there for the West Coast Eagles on 30 disposals. 17 and 13, 7 marks, a tackle and a clearance. They were the only two in the 30s today. Jack Crisp, Darcy Cameron, Jordan Ngoe, all on 28 there for the Pies. There we go. Hamish Davies, 23. Murdoch, 22. Williams, 21. Bailey Williams played a good game there for the West Coast Eagles with 20 disposals, 28 hitouts, 12 clearances. He might be in line for a vote, I would say. Harley Reid, 50 games. Well done to him. Also, 20 disposals. He played his heart out. 10 and 10. 4 clearances, 5 tackles for Harley Reid. There we go. Let's just quickly roll on down. Waiting for them to come back. Josh Dacos on 18 disposals. Lockie Schultz, 17, 1 goal, 2. Did well. Keep on going down. As I said, Elliott Yell, 16 disposals, 12 kicks, 4 handballs, 3 goals, 2. He played a great game also for the West Coast Eagles. Just roll on down. Keep rolling on down. There are your stats for your players. If you do want to look, just quickly pause that. There we go. Eagles actually had 30 plus disposals. Inside 50 count, 50 to 57. 27 scoring shots to 22. Magpies 50 inside forward 50s. West Coast 57. Free kicks, it was, well, the umpires started to blow their whistle a little bit more to the game. 28 to 18. Magpies had 10 more free kicks. The clearances, Eagles were good out of the centre, 13 to 9. Oh, plus 4 in the centre clearances, stoppages all tied up. It was a really good contested game. Only 6 the difference there. The Pies plus 6 there. Marks inside 50. We're going to get back down to the action in a minute. 10 to 9 marks inside forward 50. Eagles 20 marks overall. Just want to have a look at the defensive. The pressure really came to the fore for the Magpies. 77 tackles to 47 plus 20. And of course, tackles inside forward 50. Wow, double season average. 21 to 3 for the tackles inside forward 50. Just looking at the live ladder now. Let me just reload that up. There we go. Collingwood now jump into 9th position. Fantastic for the Pies. 100.3 is their percentage in West Coast. Still down there in 15th. The Cats did defeat the Swans today. Cats up into 3rd. Sydney up into 2nd. Freo still on top of the ladder. All right, let's just take you back to the commentators for just a moment before we wrap this up.
Kick your 100th goal and get it done with. D-Mac, get the forwards up high, stoppage high. Say that all the time, but they tell us too. We score 10% better when we play by hands. Hazy. Shiny, other side and drop. Geordie, Harley Reid. Geordie, go to Harley. Hey, let's keep celebrating all the little things, the good spoils, the good roll arounds, the tackles.
Scott Pendlebury mic'd up on Fox, celebrating a record 433 games, passing Boomer Harvey. The gold jackets and the gold numbers looking absolutely fantastic. Jake Rewald is beside me. Scott will be joining us shortly. We won't be too far away. We'll soak up all the celebrations here before you can head across to the Adelaide Oval. The Pendlebury family united. And these are just, Jack, historic scenes. A 10-point game for the number 10. The fairy tale was lived out, but only just.
Yes, Howie, only just. There is a museum down here at the MCG, and I have no doubt those scenes will be captured perfectly and put in that museum. What an achievement, and what great access there you saw as we came back from the break. This man here is a coach in waiting. I know there's every club that would be wanting to get him post his career, whenever that does come, Howie, into their football club. But you could see, which was a really tricky last 5 minutes, obviously, with Jamie Elliott. We'll find out a little bit more about that soon. But that man there rose to the occasion, the great Scott Pendlebury. Scott joins us. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Game 4-3-2 didn't go the way you would have liked to against the Cats, but game 4-3-3 goes the way. The celebration comes. Is it finally a bit of a sigh of relief that it's all over?
Yeah, it was nice to walk in and just sit down and have a soft drink in there and just, I feel pretty buggered now, but it was an amazing day.
What's the other emotion going through you right now? Obviously tired from the week and everything that's come with it, the media, it's been on the tip of everyone's tongue, but is it a sense of finally just able to sit in the emotion of what is an incredible achievement that no one else has ever done before?
Yeah, I haven't thought about it, to be honest. It was really nice to sit in there and have just 2 minutes before the media team are like, hey, you need to be back out there. So it was nice to have a couple of minutes with the boys and just sit there and chill out. And I think over the next few hours, just being around the boys will be really nice.
Mate, you relayed a story to us pre-game that a lot of people won't have heard, and you referenced it out on the ground. But what happened when you rolled into the supermarket?
Yeah, I was in Elliott at Leaf, just doing some shopping, and I walked out, and there's people across the road. They just stood up and started clapping me. I was carrying a box, and there was a pumpkin in there, and all other stuff, and sort of looked around like, who are you clapping? And they were clapping me, and they were like, good luck tomorrow, and they were just going off, and I was like, it's just, yeah, a lot of stuff throughout the week was just surreal that, I know Boomer said to me earlier in the week, he's like, the week would just be madness. I didn't really know what he meant, and there was, it was a bit of fun, but at times it caught me off guard.
Everyone in the gold jumpers, by gee, Collingwood kept that under the hat. There was all sorts going on about your gold number, and then to see everybody, I want to be careful, but for me, it's the best I've ever seen the Collingwood jumper look, mate. When did you know that everyone was going to be wearing them?
I knew for a while. Really proud of the club that it didn't slip out. There's a lot of people out there that try and find that stuff out, not for the good of the game, for the good of themselves. So I'm glad that one went all the way through, and we knew it was happening, so I thought it looked incredible. All the boys were so pumped when we come out. It looked amazing.
Well, this is the reveal. So we knew you were going to have the gold on. You've got your kids there, and then the whole team, it came out. You mentioned your kids in the interview. You started 21 years ago without a family. Is it more special now you've got your wife, your mum and dad here, obviously your 2 kids celebrating with you?
Yeah, definitely it is. To just have your kids and, run around in the change room now, trying to grab all the soft drinks and all the chocolate milks, and it just feels like a really nice footy club. Look, there they are now, and all the girls draw over Fly's whiteboard. He'll have some stuff up there, but it'll be all, written over with the boys. So, yeah, look at that. That's why you play footy.
That must fill your heart with joy, mate.
Yeah, well, that's... My kids are in there, Fly's kids are there, Crispy's kids are in there, I can see them. My niece and 2 nephews are in there, so yeah, it's a real family club. It's quite special.
How were the nerves before the game? You've played 432 of them coming into the day. You've been involved in grand final week, played in obviously premierships. How were the nerves?
It was fine. I wasn't nervous at all. I was interested to see how I would feel. Coming in and it was just cool to be in front of such a big crowd, and it was an amazing experience. That's all I can say. And I was really excited. But as I said, out on the ground, I could feel it sort of the second half, the legs sort of going, and I was running on a very slow treadmill towards the end.
We saw that incredible moment in the first quarter, the 10-minute mark. Dave Cross has a shot, obviously planned applause. We were able to celebrate for probably 30 or 40 seconds. West Coast actually held the ball, didn't kick it in, and it really was a great celebration of your achievement.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone knew what was going on. I had no idea. I don't know if they got told to stop the game or what was going on. So, I just sort of acknowledged the crowd because, I know
these are incredible signs. We've never seen this at the MCG before. These signs, and that is a testament to what you've done. You should be incredibly proud of your achievement, but the fans turned up for you today.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm trying to give them acknowledgement there out on the ground, and it's amazing to look up and see so many people with that sign up and clapping, and I don't know what to say. Our fans are unbelievable. But I feel like the whole footy community has been amazing to me and my family, not just this week, but through my whole journey.
You've had a great run with injury, mate. I think you've only missed 40 or 50 games, but one of your great teammates who was injured today, Jamie Elliott, went down late. Although having a chat with a few people, they said he was in a positive frame of mind and he's hopeful moving forward. But it just shows you how tough a game it is.
Yeah, well, I think he was in a positive frame of mind because he got the green whistle. So I've had that before, and you're very happy when you get that. You don't want to give it back. So, but he's a really hard sell player for us, and hopefully it's not too bad and he can get back, within 4 or 5 weeks.
Can you run us through that last 5 minutes? Because obviously that was a real lull. You could sense in 90,000 people there, predominantly, obviously Collingwood people, they sensed the energy got sucked out of them, and it seemed like you went into full coach mode there. That was where you had to shine as obviously the senior player in the team.
Yeah, well, we knew there was 5 minutes to go, and we all sort of got there and get in here, Whisper. You can jump in, Wisp. Yeah, so with 5 minutes to go, I think we just spoke about what we wanted to achieve. We obviously were up by 16 points, so we knew if we could control the ball a little bit, get some stoppages, the game would be as good as done.
You grew up watching him play. Nick, congratulations on your game today. You grew up watching him play. What was it like to be a teammate in a historic day, mate? And again, congratulations on your game.
Thank you. Oh, amazing. I always sort of look around and marvel at Scotty, and even throughout the week try and take so many things from his game and how he prepares. But I sent him a message this morning. I couldn't have asked for a better role model and mate coming into the club. He's really looked out for me, and he deserves everything that comes his way.
You know this is the fella that people are saying if your record is ever broken, it's this chap beside you.
Happily for Nick to break it. So, I think all records are there. People will chase them, and if he breaks it, I'll be the first one here. I'll try to buy his jumper. He'll wear 12.
We'll let you go and spend some time with your family, mate. Congratulations on a fantastic day.
All right, run us through that moment, because that was that last goal you kicked. You've kicked 3 for the day. You've had 30-odd touches, 14 score involvements. That one just looked like it had a little bit more on it the way you celebrated. You knew it was the sealer.
Yeah, I think time of game, it was just super important. So clearly gave it a bit, but a good team goal. Boys up the field set it up well, and I was just on the end of it.
Your preparation, people talk about the way you go through it, but what have you seen from Scott? What have you taken from Scott? Because everyone always comes back to the fact his preparation is gold class.
Oh, absolutely. I think the way he prepares week in, week out, regardless of the result from the previous week, he always prides himself on coming in on a Monday and being very even with his emotions, and he lives that out. He's such a great person for our football club with how he leads in that way, and he's the first person that it doesn't matter if he has 40 touches or he has 5 touches, he just comes in the same way. So, as I said, such an amazing role model. I think he's one of one within the competition, and I'm just so grateful I get to play with him.
You're obviously a leader around the football club, Nick, vice captain, steering through the week. It's an emotional driven week. It's obviously been going on for a while now, the anticipation of Scott getting to game 4-3-3. As a leader, how important is to stick close, maintain obviously that psyche that there still is a team to perform against and a game to win?
Oh, absolutely. I think Pendle's nailed it too. He wanted to sort of do all the functions and stuff early in the week. He didn't want any of the attention, but Fly made sure that we celebrated him. He's one of the greats of the competition. Like I said, fortunate he's on our team, and we've been able to play with him. And then sort of from Wednesday on, it was business as usual, preparing for West Coast. Everyone knew their role coming into the game, so it was really well led from Fly and Pendles.
Where do you reckon the footy club's at, mate, after today's performance? It was a tight game of footy.
Oh, we've been really big on just banking the 4 points every week. We're not here for style points, sort of Fly calls it, and West Coast are going really well. So we knew coming into the game that we're going to have our work cut out for us. And as I said, just grateful to win today and move on to next week against the Dogs.
You've spoken a little bit about Jamie Elliott, obviously that injury late in the game. Darcy Moore's the other player that has a hamstring injury at half-time. How hard is it to ride the emotion of that? Darcy's had a shocking year, unfortunately, with injury, and then at half-time you come in and he's ruled out for the rest of the game. Does it come to you as the leader there to make sure that the group's emotions coming out at half-time are in a positive manner?
Yeah, I think we've got a number of us that sort of led the half-time address and understanding that a couple of our leaders had gone down, and obviously not the position you want to be in, but understanding we're still got a game of footy ahead of us. Weirdly, you've got to sort of try and wipe the emotion out of it, continue on in the second half, and I thought we were able to do that really well. Once again, we'll test it with 5 minutes to go with Jamie Elliott, another great leader of our football club, going down, and I think I was at the forefront of everyone's mind for the last few minutes, but you've still got a game of footy that you need to get done, so it's a balancing act.
Nick, we'll let you go. Great to speak with you, mate.
Thank you, guys.
Great to speak to Nick Dacos. We might just go a bit rogue here for a moment, Jack.
Now he's going rogue.
We'll grab this man in, who was disappointing us in the first half when he was standing on heads and then going the fist, but finally
25 rows back,
the man from Dodgers Ferry allowed himself to go and take a big hanger, mate. Congratulations on your day.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, it was I'm sure the boys elaborated, an arm wrestle of a day, and credit to West Coast. I think their pressure is as good as we've faced. I think they rate probably the best pressure side in the comp, and we've been in the position where all we focus on is have a really good pressure game. It's going to keep you in games. It doesn't mean you're going to win them, but we knew we were going to be up against it. There was an arm wrestle there for a long period of time. Third quarter, I probably thought we were going to put them away, like we're playing good enough footy, but then sure enough they'd come back, and then it's a nail biter again. But the way we finished was good.
Just hang on, Jack. We need to roll the videotape, JJ, in the truck, because you've taken a lot. Now rate this one. You've taken a lot. As I said, I was disappointed by the fists early on. That's a nice hang though, Jeremy.
Yeah, might be in the top 50 somewhere.
The runs we have seen too, Howie. Don't worry, down at Shark Park, this man here, he would have turned it on a few times and up with the TCA as well.
He tried to fleece it off me, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did have a fair piece of it. Now, the day itself and the fact you're playing with now the bloke that's played the most games in the history of the game would be something to tell the grandkids about, I guess.
I tell Xander, my eldest son at the moment, it's like, I keep reminding me that this stuff's not normal. I was like, I'm so grateful that I've been able to share a small part of his. He's been a large part of mine. But incredible man, someone who gives so much to so many others. And yeah, to be here at the same time as him going through what he's doing at the moment, it's an incredible place, and we're very lucky.
Yeah, obviously, I remember having a conversation with you when you'd broken your arm. Obviously, great mates with Steel side bottom, and you've been here the longest with Pendles and Steel, and you missed out on side his 300th, I think it was, or his 350th. And does that make moments like this just even more important to you, because you have missed out on? You were yearning to get back. You'd actually set that as the date that you wanted to get back from a horrific arm injury. But games like today and moments like today, you must cherish them because you have missed out on a couple.
Yeah, I penciled it in early. I was making sure I was going to be healthy last week to make sure I got through. But yeah, it's one of those perks that I'm really grateful for, to be able to share those. I think all our milestones, myself, Steel and Pendles, it's kind of a bit of a three-man rotation. And yeah, it'll make for a hell of a photo when I'm old and grey and show all the grandkids.
It was great to see you all in the playing kit. Yourself, though, your own season so far, you've really had to sort of pick part with Darcy Moore, obviously being injured a little bit, playing tall, playing small. Moore goes out at half-time today. You must be wrapped with the way Billy Frampton has come on this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Credit to Bill. I think he's been building over a number of years. I feel like he's finally getting the fruits externally, but like internally, we rate him. He's as competitive as any. He's making unbelievable reads. I think his intercept numbers have gone through the roof, making great decisions whether to mark or spoil. So he's been massive for us. Really unfortunate about Darcy Moore. Just can't quite get a run at it at the moment. I've kind of been there. The way I tailed out last year, I felt like I got healthy, got injured, got knocked out. So all we can do is just kind of go back to the well, rehab well, and then hopefully we get a healthy D Moore back soon.
Jam, we appreciate your time. We'll grab the mic off you. Congratulations on the day. Jack, I might just hold station for a sec. We'll just see if we can grab
charge, am I?
Steel side bottom over here. Steel, can we just grab you for a sec, mate? I know you're with your family. We're over this way. I think you've played 334 games with Scotty. So, firstly, who have you got with you? Look at these two little legends.
Hey, Dak, how are you?
Get them on TV.
They
Get this
love
little
it.
fella up.
This is little Ned. If I pick Ned up, Matilda will crack the shit. So
if I pick him up, will he crack it or not? No, Ned's off. He's got the side bottom toe as well. You pick her up, mate. You pick her up. So who have we got here?
That's exactly what the old man wants to do after a game of footy.
This is Matilda.
This is Matilda, yes.
Matilda, how are you? Good. Good. Have you had a good day at the footy? Yeah. How'd your dad play, do you reckon? Yeah, thumbs up, mate. 334 games with Scott.
Yeah.
Give us a few memories. Indulge us.
Oh, there's been plenty. I still sort of like pinch myself a little bit, really. I think people would pay a lot of good money to be in the position I've been in. But I mean, I owe a lot to Pendles as well, what he's taught me for the game. I'm not surprised still at times the performances that he still puts out. He puts so much into his game. He's got it down to a fine art. He's hardly ever in at the club anymore. He does exactly what he needs to do and gets out of there. But, I mean, I'm proud of him because, he puts so much into his game, and it's been nice to sit back and see everybody get around him this week and celebrate him because he's a bloody gun. And, what a star. I'm just very, very pleased that I get to play alongside him.
A great answer.
We've spoken a lot about our Scott Pendlebury highlights. I know it's going to be hard, and I'm going to put you on the spot. Have you got a moment that you think encompasses what Pendles is about over the 433 or 380 odd that you've played with him?
A moment. No, I don't know. The thing that stands out for me the most is, it's hard to play footy just on its own, but what Pendles does, which puts him above anyone else, is he's out there and he's instructing and he's putting everyone in the right spots. So it's not about him all the time. It's about giving, of himself to someone else and make sure they're in the right spot. So, as I said, it's hard to get a kick, but then to do that at the same time is even harder, and he makes it look easy.
Mate, you've had a big day. You've got Matilda hang off. You just finally...
I reckon he'd hang off to you lot too.
Are you the man to break Pendle's record? Can you get there yourself? What are your thoughts?
No chance.
No chance?
No. I think I'd need to play another maybe 3 or 4 years, probably. He's not done yet either.
No, you might get to 500 Steele. It's a privilege to have a chat with you, mate. Go and spend some time with your family. Great to see Steele side bottom and Matilda and the little fella as well who wants a piece of the action. Say goodbye, Matilda. There you go, beautifully done. And the young bloke's on as well. That is about it here from the MCG, Jack. It's been a true privilege to be here. I'm sure the celebrations are going well and truly into the night. There's Scott and his wife, Alex. We'll now head over to Adelaide as Carlton take on Port Adelaide.
All right, folks, there we go. Game, set, match. That is all we've got from the history-making, record-breaking game of Scotty Pendlebury game 4-3-3. Did the job for the Magpies. The Magpies did the job for him. 13-14-92. I'll tell you what, it was a nail biter. 12-10-80 to the Eagles. It was the Magpies by 10. His games add up to 10. That was the margin, 10 points. 10-10-10. There we go. That's what it was all about. All right, folks. Hey, thanks for tuning on in to this historical game today. It was absolutely fantastic. Thanks, Liam. What about the recent ones? First, we had Wanganeen, Millera, and Zerha. I tell you what, there were some good ones. North Melbourne, North pulled out a Saint victory from last year, 2025 against Melbourne. I tell you what, there were some good epic finishes, just like today's one was. But hey, that's all I got for this one. I'm going to have a coffee. Whew. Oh, I need one after that. Anyway, there we go, folks. Thanks all for tuning on in. It was the Pies victorious today on this memorable occasion. Let's hope they can do it again next week. I just want to let you know who the Eagles and the Magpies are going to play next week. When I can find, I tell you what, it's going to be a good game next week for the Magpies. Of course, next Saturday evening, that's going to be played at Marvel Stadium. Magpies, they're taking on the Western Bulldogs, so it should be another interesting game there. It's going to be a classic game. And of course, the West Coast Eagles, they're going to play next Sunday at home at Optus Stadium. They're taking on Essendon. I think that's a game where West Coast should go in as favourite, and you would expect them, the way they've been playing lately, to win that game. So Eagles have the Bombers. That's right. I think the Eagles should win that game. If they play half as good as they did today, they'll definitely win that, especially the way the Bombers played. And of course, just looking at, oh my gosh, where am I? Where have I got to? The Western Bulldogs. Oh, that's right. The Western Bulldogs have still got to play tomorrow, so we'll see how they fare. But it should be a couple of cracking games next week where the Pies take on the Bulldogs and the Eagles take on the Bombers. But I tell you what, today was a great day. That's right. Essendon are on the bottom of the ladder. Richmond climbed to second. They climb above them now. Second bottom of the ladder, so it was good effort. All right, folks, there we go on this memorable occasion. That's all we've got for this coverage today. As I said, I'll thank you all for coming on in. Appreciate it. As I said, historical, record-breaking, history-making game today that we all tuned in on. We can be proud that we're here on this day when it all happened. All right, folks. Hey, that's all I got for this one. So until next time, ciao for now. We'll see you at the next game.